Oh, man. Hold on a second. Got to move my mic. Hopefully that's a good spot for it. Are we live? YouTube? YouTube, are we going? I don't know. I simply don't know. Okay, yeah, we are live. Alright. Gotta wait for people to pour in. So, I didn't really have very many plans for tonight other than, I guess, to complain a little bit about my job and maybe give some anecdotes, because I've been working long enough to have some anecdotes about some of my coworkers and that, who are, like, it's probably the worst aspect of my job. Like, there is the sort of the work itself, there's the public-facing side of my job, and then there's my coworkers. And I don't know if I've said this in an earlier stream, but my coworkers are, like, absolutely the worst part of my job. I get along with about, like, 20% of them, if even that. Like, either I don't really get along with them that well, they don't really speak to me, or I don't get along with them, and there's the minority that I do. So, don't really like my coworkers. Don't really like them. And I thought I would make fun of them a little bit in here, because I do have a few anecdotes that I could tell, especially about this one coworker of mine, who is, I call him one of the Butterball brothers. There's two guys that I work with, one of whom I can't stand. Like, he despises me, and I can't stand him. And he's one of the two that I call the Butterball brothers, Super Butterball brothers. And the two of them are, the one is more innocuous than the other. As I said on Gettr, he is a, let me bring that up. I'll bring that up so I have the exact wording. He's the more innocuous of the two Butterballs. One of my coworkers, or one of my colleagues, is a fat, beta, ginger-haired libertarian cringe lord. He's one of the Butterball brothers. And he's the more innocuous of the two. Like, he's just kind of like this goofball douchebag that I don't really like. And he doesn't speak to me anymore because I basically talked back to him at one point. He came up to me. It was like the first time he introduced himself to me. He came over to me and this was like a few weeks ago. He just started lecturing me on how to do the job. And he was like the third person that day to lecture me about that one position. And I'm like, dude, can we just shorten this up? Can we, keep this brief, please? I don't want to hear this. Like, I don't want for you to give me another lecture on your opinion of this position, of how to do my job. Oh, you've been here, and I don't want to hear it. So can we keep this brief? Can we shorten this up? And he took great offense to that. He really, really, really did not like me saying that to him. But it's like, you've not even introduced yourself to me. You've not even told me your name, and you're already lecturing me on how to do the job. I've been trained to do it. I've been shown how to do it. I have been doing it for, at that point, it had been 2 weeks straight, full time doing it. And he comes up to me, the first thing he says to me is, it's a lecture on this position, how to do it. And it's like, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear you, and I don't want to hear, the bovine shit you're going to say to me. Okay, I just don't. And since then, he's basically not said a word to me. And all things considered, I'm not that worried about it. It's not, like I say, he's innocuous. I don't talk to him. He doesn't talk to me. We get along just fine. That's the way that it is. I don't ask for much. All that I ask is that you be friendly to me, and I will reciprocate. I will be friendly to you. But I don't go around lecturing people, patronizing them, speaking to them as if they were a child. I don't do that. That's not helpful. That's not friendly. That's you being a haughty faggot. And it's the reason why I don't like that guy, because he is himself a goofball, haughty faggot who thinks that he knows, he thinks that he's in basically, what would it be? In the role of that of a supervisor. Like, he thinks that he's my supervisor. He thinks that he's in some sort of managerial or administrative role, and he is the same level as me. He's just another bureaucrat. That's who he is. So there's a way to speak to people and there's a way not to. And he chose the way not to do it. And I just threw it in his face. Like, I don't want to hear this. I don't want to hear you. You hadn't even told me your name. I don't want to hear you. And because of that, he doesn't talk to me anymore. But it's not really a terrible thing. Because this particular brother of the Butterball twins is just a goober. He is a doofus. He is this ginger-haired, fat doofus who is a libertarian. I am one of the rare people where I work that doesn't talk about politics. And for those of you that know me, you would say, well, Louis, you don't talk about politics? Well, like, you know, you have a degree. Wouldn't you be talking about politics 24/7 in the workplace? It's like, no, I don't do that. You know, when I go to work, I'm not there to fuck around and talk about bullshit all day. You know, I'll talk to you about whatever, football or whatever, but I'm not here to talk to you about politics. That is not my role in the workplace. Not only is it inappropriate and unprofessional, but it's, above all, against the rules. We were trained from the beginning to not talk about politics, and it's that simple. It's a bullet point in the manual for the job. Don't talk about religion. Don't talk about race. Don't talk about politics. Those are the rules for personal conduct, and you can get away with a hell of a lot in my workplace. You basically are in a position where it is impossible to fire you as a federal bureaucrat. But when it comes to how you present yourself to your other coworkers, don't talk about politics, don't talk about race, don't talk about religion. And this guy was going on and on and on, and I'm in the break room. I'm trying to relax. I'm trying to just look at my phone, goof around, just relax from what I was just doing. And this guy's going on and on and on about his fucking libertarian beliefs. And I'm just sitting there listening to this guy like, dude, you are such a fucking goober. You sound like some fucking faggot from freshman year of college who has not grown out of his fucking libertarian phase. You are an absolute goober. You are a goofus. You are a joke. And he has talked to several female coworkers in such a way to the degree that he sounds like a fucking feminist. So it is like, dude, you are such a fucking beta male. You are such a fucking fat beta. And the fact of the matter is that you would abandon every single libertarian belief you allegedly hold for a crumb of fucking pussy, my man. So fuck off with your so-called, my deep philosophical libertarian beliefs, blah, blah, blah. For a crumb of pussy, you would sell out, my guy. So shut up. And I really wish I could say that to this guy, but I wouldn't, because it would be very rude, and he doesn't deserve it. He hasn't done anything to spite me, to slight me, to deserve that kind of reaction. But I don't know. It's about keeping it real, in all honesty. And you can feel free to keep it real when it comes to me and say whatever you want about me. Like, I just had a half-assed dinner with my parents, and my own father, he goes, I have no idea what it's like to be miserable all day. And he says that in reference to me. Like, I can't imagine going through every day just miserable all the time. And it's like, well, thanks, Dad. Thanks for that. I appreciate it. Good to know. Glad to have you on my side. But, I try to explain to him that, like, it's not, like, I've already explained, I believe, in a stream to a few friends, to, like, a couple people over Discord, to my own parents, that, like, the part of the job that I can't stand is not the job. It's not even dealing with the public. Everyone makes the biggest fucking deal about, customer service, dealing with the public. It's the worst thing in the world. The worst thing in the world is talking to your average person, because your average person is just a rude retard. Every person on the street is just a rude retard. And it's like, They don't even come close, not an iota, to the irritation that I have with my fucking coworkers. Dealing with the public is in no way anywhere, because these people know they're dealing with the federal bureaucracy. Okay, they understand that. There's an understanding between the public and I, and the public and us, in dealing with federal bureaucrats. You know, there's an understanding there. But my coworkers, there is no such understanding. And it's just like, well, what can I do? It's like, I try to explain that it's not the fact that every day I wake up saying, well, I'm going to go to work and be miserable today, because I do have good days, but it's when I don't have my fucking coworkers saying stupid fucking shit to me. Those are the best days of the week when I work. It's not because, oh, the members of the public piss me off, or I'm sweating and I'm overworked and I'm tired from my job. No, I'm a bureaucrat. It's not that demanding. But it's like, my coworkers suck. They suck. Half of them are fucking... They spend their entire goddamn shift roaming around the workplace, talking to one another, doing fuck all else. Or, you know, saying stupid shit to me. Or not doing their fucking job, and then I have to carry the rope. I have to pick up the slack. And that pisses me off. What the fuck am I supposed to do different other than not care? Not care about the job. Like, what kind of idea is that? Going into a job, just don't care. So, yeah, I mean, I have a hard time explaining exactly what the issue is, and it just seems like a lot of people don't really seem to get it. A lot of people don't seem to understand. Like, everyone seems to think that, oh, doing the job is the hardest part. Or, oh, the members of the public, they're the worst. It's like, no, I can't stand my coworkers. They make me fucking miserable. That is what the fucking problem is. They're lazy, they're blabbermouth dickheads, and they're unprofessional. They, like, the rules state, don't talk about politics, and they're ranting and raving about politics like I would on my fucking channel. It's totally unprofessional. You know, I don't want to hear about your beliefs, your malformed, erroneous, half-assed fucking political beliefs that you allegedly cling to, when we both know that they're just some basic bitch normie opinions that you would abandon for whatever. A little bit more money, for a crumb of pussy, whatever it would be, because I got a family. You would abandon those beliefs, so shut up about your political beliefs in the workplace. Shut the fuck up. I don't want to hear about your politics. They suck. They're dumb. You're a Trump supporter? Oh, I guess I am too. You're a Republican? So am I. You're a conservative in XYZ way? So am I. I don't want to hear about that while we're in the workplace. It's unprofessional. So, yeah, I mean, it's just unfortunate. It's just unfortunate. Like, every job I've ever had, there's been some fucking downside to it. There's been some fucking aspect to it that I can't stand. And with this job, it's not even the job. It's not hard. It's barely demanding. I go in and can do it to the absolute degree that's necessary. I do the job 100% every day. It's my fucking coworkers that I can't stand. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is about this world where for some reason people have a hard time grasping that. And just here's an example for today. One of my coworkers, very friendly guy, very laid back, very good in dealing with the public, cheering people up, being very friendly. Just his disposition is being a friendly, upbeat guy. And I'm not there to bring him down. I'm not there to contradict him. You know, even when he acts in a way that is fairly unprofessional at times, he's not ranting and raving about politics or religion or anything else. He's not doing something that is really inappropriate when dealing with the public, but he's a little bit too overly familiar for my taste. However, this guy comes up to me and he asks me, what is the worst aspect of this job to you? And I said, I can't answer that question. And he laughs. He goes, it's your coworkers, isn't it? And I go, yes! Yes! For the love of God, finally! Fucking finally! Somebody who gets it! Like, I figured I was alone in the fucking world! I'm the only fucking person on Earth! It's me and this guy! We're alone on an island! You know, I just don't get it! I couldn't believe it! It blew my fucking mind! I was just like, yes! Like, how... I told him, like, you're the first person to even acknowledge that that would be a possibility. Like, my own family doesn't understand. They can't wrap their heads around the idea. That, oh, it's the public. Oh, it's my job. No, it's the fucking assholes I work with. So, all I know is that I can't stand the fact that this guy and I barely work together at all. I wish, for the love of God, God, give me some grace. Give me a fucking break to have me work with this guy a few days a week. To at least make the week a bit better. To put me in a better mood coming home. Because it's like he's the one guy in the fucking worst workplace that not only is nice to me, nice in general, upbeat, positive, but understands the fact that it isn't the public that suck. It's not the job because it's not demanding. It's these fucking retards that occupy the space in this place. Like, I feel like I'm in fucking idiocracy. You know, really. It's just terrible. Yes, and as some people in the chat are saying, it's like, it's like, I don't know what to do. I feel paralyzed. Like, okay, so the other day, here's an anecdote for you. The other day, I get taken aside for some bi-quarterly, whatever the fuck, performance review. I sit down with the main manager that's in charge of basically the floor. So this is not one of the higher up people that worked for another agency that's downstairs. Or I suppose upstairs in this case. This is someone who's on the floor. Oversees everything that we're doing. They're a manager. So this person sits me down. And we're talking about the job. She's basically saying like, oh, well, you know, you're doing well here. You're doing well there. And she goes, well, I got to ask you about you and your colleagues. You know, you seem closed off to your colleagues. You don't seem to be really getting along well with other people. You know, and she goes, well, what can we do to make things better? Like, what can we do to improve things about the atmosphere of the job and the job itself? Like, are you noticing anything that's a problem? And I was like, listen, I don't want to be a rat. I told her that straight up. I don't want to be a rat. I don't want to rat people out. I'm not naming anybody any names. I'm not here to blow anybody in. And she's like, no, you know, you don't have to do that. I'm like, I'm just saying, listen, okay, you're asking me something that is a catch-22. I already don't get along with half of these people. I'm not going to just come in here and unload to you everything that's going on. And I said to her straight up, if you are paying attention out there, you already know what the problem is. You can already tell me what the issue is. And she goes, well, it's the talking. And I was like, yeah, yes, it's the talking. It's the talking. It's the people walking around their entire shift fucking around. You already know it. I didn't even have to tell you. You're telling me, and I'm just agreeing. You're the manager. You're the manager, and you're telling me what the problem is. You're asking me the problem. I say, no, I'm not going to rat anybody out. And you're like, well, it's probably this, isn't it? Yes! Why the fuck are you asking me then? It's so stupid. And so the problem is that ultimately, like, the managers know, like, the people who are in the position of being a supervisor, like the overseers, the people that are in charge of managing everything that's going on, they manage we, the feds. It's like, you know what the fucking problem is. You know what the main problem is. People aren't doing their jobs. They're spending half their shift talking to people, like randomly walking around the workplace, talking to people. They're not working. You know it. Like, what the fuck do you want me to say? What do you expect me to say when you know it? That's your job. Go up to them. Go up to them and say, stop talking. Oh my God. So unfortunately, one of the aspects of the job is that, like, the main person in charge of management on the floor is incompetent. They are incompetent. Like, what else? What other way am I supposed to take this? When you acknowledge what the fucking problem is, when I don't even have to say a word. And yet you don't do anything. You don't do anything. You don't even brief people. Like, the brief for what's going on with the government, what's going on in politics. Director so-and-so says this. This administrator says whatever. This is going on. There's a new opening here. Put it there. Say, stop fucking talking. And if you don't stop, there's going to be repercussions. You're going to be disciplined. You're going to lose hours or whatever. Oh my God. You know, it's like, it's one of the worst aspects because this person is not mean. She's not a bad person. She's friendly. You know, she tries her best in filling the role that she has, but she's clearly fucking incompetent. It's all I can say is that it has to be the case. If you know what's going wrong here and you're doing nothing, you're incompetent. Anyways, oh yeah, I didn't even, did I finish? I guess I finished the anecdote with the fucking, one of the super butterballs. I guess the only other anecdote that I could give is about the other butterball, which is to say that I basically figured out, I'll tell you about this guy. This guy is such a fucking meme. This guy is a living, breathing meme, okay? He's another fat dork. He is a fat dork. And I'm just going to say this. Maybe I'm a dork. Maybe I'm whatever. You know, maybe you can classify me in some way. Here you are listening to the stream with some Yuri image on the screen. Maybe I am a dork. I met someone in the public today. Some girl comes up to me. And I'm doing my job with her. We're going through the fucking motions of the job. And I noticed that underneath her zipped hoodie, she has a Danganronpa shirt on. And so I point to the shirt and I say, oh, Danganronpa. And she goes, yeah. And I said, oh, yeah, I like that game. And she goes, you know, I cosplay as certain characters from this game. And I go, oh, really? Because if anyone's been around for a while, you know my fucking opinions about cosplayers, all right? So I was like, oh, really? And she looks at me, she goes, guess who? And I was like, she wasn't very attractive, so I was like, I probably should have guessed otherwise. But I said, well, you're probably like every girl, Junko Enoshima. And she goes, no. This and that are the character from the game. And I was like, oh, all right. And we finished up what we were doing. And I'm like, all right, have a nice day. And that was it. So I'm probably somewhere in the category. Like, if there was a spectrum of Giga Chad, Alpha Cool, and fucking, like, the guy I work with, the fucking goofball beta loser. Like, if there's a spectrum of being a Giga Chad and being a fucking tubby fat faggot loser beta, okay, I'm not going to say where I fall on that spectrum, but chances are I'm not a Giga Chad, all right? Chances are I'm not the super alpha Giga Chad. I'm just not there, okay? I have my neuroticisms and all that, my eccentricities, but I know for a fact that I am not some beta male, crumma pussy guy, goofball libertarian, self-contradictory faggot, okay? I know I'm not that guy. So I'm somewhere on this spectrum, but I'm at least not over there. But this guy I work with, who's the other Super Ball brother, And I should really give these guys names. What are I don't know if is Tweedledee and Tweedledum too on the nose? Somebody give me some names. What should I call these guys? The two Super Butterball brothers. What should I call them? Anyone got some funny names? Chat, help me out. I'm looking at the chat. Chat, give me some names for these guys. What should I call them? Because I know what their actual names are. Up until like a couple days ago, I didn't even know the one guy's name at all. And we hate each other. But someone come up with some names. What do we got? Butter and lard. Damn. Potential subscribers. Damn. That's some self-deprecating humor there, guys. Fat and fatter. Oh, man. Ropey and dopey. Mo and Curly. Mo and Curly probably. That's kind of close, honestly. Fat and fatter, man. That's pretty funny. Louis Le Vau. Oh man, thanks. This guy's working himself into getting a ban. He's gonna get timed out for that kind of comment. Oh man, butter and fat, potato. Oh, okay, that's it. Potato and ham. That is it. Leon Sullivan in the chat. That's got to be it. Fucking potato and ham. That is great. That is great. That is original and that is great. Potato and ham. Oh, man. Okay, so who's who? Who is potato and who's ham? Well, the libertarian, the ginger libertarian is probably ham because he's fatter. He's probably like 400 pounds. So I guess he'll be ham. And I guess potato will be the other guy. And that fits, it honestly fits his description a little bit more. All right, so to recap what we're talking about, there are these two guys who I work with who I call the Butterball brothers. And they are these two guys that I work with who I don't like. Ham is a guy who is this dorky libertarian guy who I don't like, that we don't get along. He never introduced himself to me. He just started lecturing me one day about how to do my job, and I blew him off, and I did it right to his face. And ever since then, we have not said one word to each other, I think. Maybe at some point he said something to me, Louis, and so needs you, something like that. Like, that's as much as we've spoken, is it just work-related shit. All right, so that's ham. Potato is basically the worst incarnation possible of ham. This guy is not as fat as him, but he is a fucking cocksucker. This guy is an absolute fucking prick. He is this utterly fucking arrogant douchebag. You should see, like, I wish, if I ever get fired, I'm going to record this guy on my way out. I'm going to record how this guy walks. I wish you could see the way this guy walks across the workplace. This guy carries himself like he is Giga Chad. Like, he walks with, like, a determined swagger. Like, if any of you have played The Sims 4, like, the tough walk that's in that game, where, like, your fists are out and you're like, I'm walking like this. Like, you walk in this really alpha way, and it's so contrived, so inauthentic, so undue. Like, it's just like, why do you carry yourself that way? You are on the same level as me, bro. You are fucking nobody. You are a dickless government bureaucrat like me. You are nothing. Have some fucking humility. But no, this guy carries himself like a fucking Giga Chad, and he is this fat, four-eyed fucking faggot. He is a loser. And I'm saying this working alongside him. Okay, you call me a loser. Fair enough. I'm on the public dole. I'm a bureaucrat for the federal government. I am what I am, man. It is what it is. I'm there for mercenary reasons. I don't give a fuck. I'm there to collect the check. That's why I'm there. Do I try? Do I work? Do I give 100% every day? Yeah. It's not a demanding job. I do the job. That's what I do. I have no reason to not give 100%, so I give 100%. It's not the people I dislike. It's not the job. It's my fucking coworkers. So I give 100% every day I fucking show up, and that's just the fact of the matter. If they ever fire me, it's because I didn't get the vaccination, or the people in charge are incompetent, or people badmouth me to them, or whatever. But I'm never going to get fired for not doing the fucking job, because every day I show up, I give 100%. But this guy despises me. This guy, Potato, despises me. And the reason is that I don't care about your fucking haughty attitude. I don't care about how big and bad and what a big dick you got. I don't care. You don't impress me. And if you don't show me any kind of respect, you're going to get absolutely fucking none in return. I don't give a shit who you are. Who you are. What rank you are in this organization. If you don't show any respect to me, you're getting fuck all in return. Because that's me. That's me. That's how I am. The fact of the matter is, we're both on the ground level. We're both we're both walking around with our fucking federal government faggot lanyards with government ID all day, walking around saying, hello, ma'am, hello, sir, to the public. We are bureaucrats. We are nothing. We are peons working for the biggest Gib organization of Gibbs ever, okay? We work for the Gibbs. We work for the Gibbers, okay? We are nothing. And so when you walk around with this fucking cocky dickhead attitude, I don't like you. I don't like you just from perceiving you as having that kind of personality. And I'm right. Okay, I knew the first time I saw this guy, what is with the attitude? What's with this swagger? What's with this fucking guy? Like, what's with him? That's going on in my mind. I don't like this guy's attitude. I don't like the way he walks. I don't like the way he's walking around puffing out his chest like I'm a big bad motherfucker. Like, you are nothing, dude. You are nothing. You are a pudgy fucking bureaucrat loser. A four-eyed faggot who works for the federal government. You are nothing. But the fact of the matter is, if you aren't rude to me, I'm not going to be rude to you back. At least not unless I'm in a bad mood. Then maybe I'll be rude to you. But it's not my intention. I don't mean to be rude. I don't go out of my way to be an asshole to people, to be a prick for no reason. I don't go around trying to make bad first impressions, because I'm very cognizant that first impressions matter. But with this guy, from the beginning, I knew this guy and I, we're not going to get along. This guy and I, we're going to have problems, because I'm not playing into this guy's fucking ego or whatever the fuck's going on with him. Okay? That's not how I roll. That's not my, Socrates is my Jesus Christ. Humility is my fucking religion. And when you have that kind of fucking attitude and you just, it's like an aura around you, that is not something that plays well with me. Okay? And so what happens? Go back a few weeks when we first interacted. Okay, this guy is coming up to me, telling me how it is, telling me what to do, telling me how to do the job, telling me this, not suggesting, not hinting, not having a casual conversation and sort of sprinkling this in about the job or giving me a funny anecdote, which other people have done. The people I get along with do that. They might give me an idea how to do the job or say, hey, Louis, you might want to think about this, or even that, I kind of ruffles my feathers a little bit because I don't like that. If you're a supervisor, I'll listen, but if you're not, don't come up to me and start lecturing me. I don't want to hear that. But people have done it in nicer ways. So fine, I'll take it. At least we're conversing in a positive way. Okay, fine, yeah, go ahead, blah, 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 whatever. But this guy, man, he's lecturing me. He's telling me. He's directing me. He's giving me attitude. And so eventually it gets to the point where he starts barking at me. And this is what I call it, barking, where rather than come up and have a conversation, take me aside, just say something to me real quick and clean, no, Like, you're just shouting across the room, just telling me, like, what are you doing? Like, this kind of shit like that. And as soon as he started doing that shit to me, I'd be like, oh, really? Oh, okay. Oh, thanks. Thanks for helping. I appreciate it. Oh, yeah. Great to hear from you. Like, I just started fucking with this guy. And he would get so angry. And it's like, yeah, guess what there, brother? I'm gonna fuck with you because I don't respect you. You don't respect me, and the fact of the fucking matter is, I don't respect you. You come up to me with this fucking attitude, you give me this fucking attitude like you're the big swinging dick in this place, when you're some peon, like you're not even my direct supervisor, or anyone's direct supervisor. You're just some other random bureaucrat on the lowest end of the totem pole. And you're coming around telling me how it is and shit, giving me directives and shit like you're my boss. No, fuck that. You're nobody. You're fucking nothing. And I will show you that by just mocking you to your fucking face. And you're sit there clenching your fist. I'm so angry. Because you will not say shit to me. Because in the end, I have balls. You don't. That's what this is. I have balls. You don't. You carry yourself like you're the big swinging dick, but you're just another cog. All right? You're another bureaucrat in the federal bureaucracy, okay? You're nothing. You don't deserve any respect. And the way you carry yourself just gives me the inkling that I should humiliate you, that I should humble you because you fucking deserve it. And so I straight up started making... Did I already talk about this? I see people talking to people in the chat about this. Okay, maybe I've already mentioned this before. So I'll speed up a little bit. So this guy and I didn't get along, so I would make fun of him and be like, oh, thanks for telling me. Like, I would do shit like that. That was like a couple weeks ago. But it's advanced, okay? Things have advanced since then. And this is how bad it is. And so this is the thing, like, people who I've talked to about this, a couple friends and that, like, they say to me, well, Louis, you're being too strong and all this sort of thing, like you're being too mean and all this. This is where we are, okay? This is where Potato and I are. He gets enraged at me. Like, he gets legitimately pissed at me while we work. Anytime we interact, he gets really pissed because we've gone to the point where I used to make fun of him to where I just straight up ignore him. And it's to the point where I don't even acknowledge he exists. Like, if there's any point where, like, it would be polite for me to hold the door open for him or anything like that, I just pretend he doesn't exist. Like, he's a shadow. Like, I don't see him. He's not there. Like, he doesn't exist. He says stuff to me, and I just walk past him or anything else. Like, he does not even exist. And he gets so fucking mad. He gets so angry that I don't acknowledge him. Like, he wants me to acknowledge him now. He wants me to say something to him, but I don't. I don't say anything. He'll say some mean shit to me. He'll bark at me. He'll yell. He'll do stupid stuff. And in many ways, he'll embarrass himself. Like today, he yelled something at me. I don't even remember what it was about. He yelled something at me, and I totally ignored him. And people are like looking at him like, why is he yelling? Wow, this guy's yelling for no reason. And I just straight up ignored him. And you could just see he got red in the face. He got so angry. I didn't even say anything to him. I just didn't acknowledge his existence at all. He gets so fucking angry. And, yeah, it's great. In all honesty, things for me with this guy have turned around this way. Like, I don't want to interact with him. I'd rather he just fuck off and I don't work with him. And most days of the week, I actually don't. I don't know where he goes or what he does, but I don't work with him most days of the week. But it seems like beginning of the week and sometimes like on a Sunday. If I'm working Sunday, he might be there on a Sunday, but it's mainly like Monday, Tuesday. We'll be in closer proximity to one another. I have no idea why, but people get bounced around to do certain things and that, so we wind up in the same area together sometimes. And it's just so funny that this guy is so insecure that he requires a reaction out of me. And when I just simply ignore him, he gets like legitimately fucking angry with me. Like legitimately, it pisses him off for like hours. For hours, he's angry about this. And it's like, yo, you're a fucking psycho. This guy's a fucking psycho. He's gonna come into work one day and kill me because I don't talk to him. Holy shit, man. Infinite Rage is correct. In the chat, Infinite Rage is correct. That's what it is. But yeah. No, this is the other guy. No, Potato's not Ham. Someone in the chat's confusing the two. The Libertarian is Ham. I'm talking about Potato. These are two different guys. I've never talked to Potato about anything. I've never talked to this guy about fucking anything. He's had like a fucking axe to grind against me since day one because I just blew him off about him lecturing me about how to do the job and all this shit. I just blew him off and it was like, I don't want to hear this. I don't do, just come on, like I don't want to listen to you about this. Like I just blew him off because I don't want to be dictated to. If you want to tell me interesting stuff or how to do certain or look out for this, be careful of that, maybe watch out for this, like there's certain ways to present something where you basically are lecturing someone, but it's in a way that's in some ways subtler, that's more polite. But this guy is just giving me dictates on how I'm supposed to do my job and shit. It's like, bro, you didn't train me. You're not a manager here. You're not someone who's upper level, who's training new employees, and you're not like HR and shit. Like, who the fuck are you to talk to me like this? And I just didn't give him any respect at all. And since then, he's like out to get me. You know, this, like I said, he's going to show up one day with a gun. You know, it reminds me of the kid in high school. You know, I've told this anecdote before, but there's this one really strange kid who I had a class with him. He's this really weird kid who a lot of kids didn't like. And eventually he got busted with like a kill list. Like he was going to go on a mass shooting. He had a kill list. And my name was the last name on it. And I thought that was the funniest thing. And this is all the way back in high school. I thought that was the funniest thing in the fucking world. I told everyone that I could about that fact. That this kid had a kill list, and I was the last name on that motherfucking list. This guy's gonna come into school with a gun, he's gonna kill everyone here, but I'm the last one. I'm the last one he's coming for. I was the final straw for this fucking kid. I thought it was the funniest thing in the fucking world, and that's how I feel about this guy at work, too. I feel the same way about him. Because it's like, you know, I don't care about whatever presupposition your mind is operating on for your ego, for how I need to perceive you, how I need to react to you. You know, I need to respect you or be afraid of you or whatever it is you're trying to get out of me. You like, I need to be your fucking lackey or whatever it is that you're trying to get from me. Like, you're never going to coerce me or demand anything of me. It's never going to fucking happen. So don't try. And I'm pretty clear and blunt and honest about that fact to people. I'm pretty upfront with the fact that if you're talking to me in a way that I don't like or whatever, you're acting in a way around me that I don't like, I'll just tell you that. It won't be as blunt as I am saying here. I'm not going to curse at you or anything like that. But I'm just going to more or less tell you, like, you know, dude, slow your roll. Like, why are you talking to me like this? Like, this is kind of inappropriate. Like, why? Like, who are you to come over here and talk to me like this? Like, I don't even know your name, and you're already talking to me like this? Like, come on. Like, I'll be like that to you. I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. Like, I'll give you an open to just apologize and say, oh, my bad. You know, how hard is it? I'm sorry. I didn't mean to come off that way. First impressions are important. Sorry. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Like, I am a reasonable fucking person. And I will always give you an opening to If you slight me, I will let you know to some extent of that fact, and I will give you the opening to make that right. Because I'm not looking to be anybody's enemy. I'm looking to be somebody's friend. I'm a good friend. But the fact of the matter is that I'm never giving you a fucking inch. If you're coming to me looking to take an inch from me, you're not getting it. You're not getting that fucking inch. I'm not giving you that inch. A centimeter. Nothing. You'll get nothing of me. You will not take from me. That's not how this works. You're never going to coerce me. You're never going to bully me. Fuck you. That's my attitude. And if that's not good for you because you want to be a bully or whatever your fucking psychosis is, then fine. Fuck you. That's how it's going to be. Then you'll be you and I'll be me. And I know that I'm not the unreasonable one in this situation. So, yeah, unfortunately, that's this guy's attitude. It's this guy's fucking attitude. And I don't imagine that this guy has very many friends at work. I can't imagine that this guy, when we're in the break room, I'll just buy some shit from the vending machine. We got a couple vending machines out in the hall, and I'll just grab some shit from the vending machine. Or I'll bring in some stuff from, like, Tim Hortons or something. I'll bring in some snacks, whatever, because I don't really eat a lot. I'm, what is it called? Not peckish. It's generally, I just don't eat a lot when I'm working. I don't want to stuff my face and have to go take a shit while I'm at work. You know what I mean? I'll drink some coffee. I'll drink some tea. I'll eat some snacks. I'll eat a bagel. Maybe a sandwich every now and then if it's possible. But, I don't go to work and eat a lot. But this guy, dude, he just shovels food in his mouth. He just shovels this shit down his throat. And I'm trying to remember where I was going with that. Oh yeah, my point is, okay, so this guy, he brings in like this massive lunchbox, and he just gorges himself on food. And one of the things that I've noticed is that if we're ever on break at the same point during the day, no one talks to this guy. And even being new, I still have people that I talk to. There's people that I sit with. If I'm on break, so are they. We're both eating lunch, whatever. I'll sit with. There's several people that I'll sit with and talk to. Sometimes in the break room, there'll be something interesting to watch or to talk about, or something will be happening. There'll be something to talk about. And I'll talk to them about it. And sometimes there's nothing to talk about and there's no one to talk to, and that's all there is. Maybe I'll sit next to or close to somebody because that's just the way the room's situated, whatever. But this guy doesn't really talk to anybody. This guy doesn't really talk to anybody there. So I don't think that this guy really gets along with a lot of people there. And it's like, I might have my personality flaws in that, and I imagine I do to most people. Most people probably perceive me in some, I don't know, neutral to negative way, maybe, just the way that I am. But, because I do have kind of a prickly personality myself, but I'm not an arrogant fucking cocksucker. And that's one of the things that I can at least say about myself, is that when I deal with people, no matter what workplace I've been in, no matter what my actual thoughts are about what people say, I'm pretty goddamn reserved about what I say to people. I'm pretty goddamn... You ever meet me in real life where it's in a professional setting, I'm a pretty goddamn reserved person when it comes to that. If you meet me in real life and I'm at an event or something, maybe I'll be slightly more reserved in real life than I am here on YouTube. But I'll still say whatever I feel like saying in public, because if I'm not at work, I'll say whatever I feel like saying. It's a free country. I'm a free person. I'll say whatever I feel. I have a conscience, and I'll abide by that. Outside of that, I'll say whatever I want to. But I can't imagine that this guy has very many friends at work, and there's probably a reason for that. It's probably because the way that he is and the way that he carries himself. But, it's just one of those things where I don't understand what is really in your mind when you set out from the very beginning that you meet somebody who's brand new. Okay, I'm just in. I'm a brand new, gibber, working for the gibberment. And, you know, we're both the same level. We're both nobodies. And yet you carry yourself like this. It's just ridiculous. None of the people that are in a managerial position act this way. None of them act this way at all. Why the fuck are you like this? And I said to one of the coworkers I have, somebody who I have, we get along to some degree. And I said to him, we were both complaining about this guy together. And I was like, man, because he said something to him, and I talked to him about it. I'm like, did Potato say something to you? He goes, yeah, the guy's a fucking prick. And I'm like, yeah, I've been dealing with this guy for like 2 weeks. And he's such an asshole to me. And I was talking to him about this guy. And I'm like, one of the things I'll never understand is that none of the people that are in a managerial position act like this. No one acts like this. Why does this guy act this way? It's just ridiculous. But yeah, work is prison. Yeah, so I'll put this to the chat. The people who have been listening to this throughout the last hour that I've been whining into my microphone here. Am I unreasonable? Am I doing something wrong? Like, if you have suggestions or whatever, give me your suggestions. Give me some kind of clue. Maybe I'm too unaware of myself or whatever it is. I have perception of others but none of myself, whatever it is, okay? I'll humble myself to you, okay? I will physically push back my chair and I will get on my knees. I am right now physically on my knees. I will bow to you. I'm bowing to you, my audience. Explain to me what the fuck I'm supposed to do in this situation. How do I get my coworkers to not be fucking insufferable? Explain that to me, chat. Any suggestions? Okay, no, I'm not even commenting on that. Louse in the chat, no. No, disavow, sir. Maybe I smell bad? No, I'm a very hygienic person, thank you. Oh, man. Moo to the audience. No, I'm not mooing to you. No, that's a bridge too far. I'm not mooing to you people. Wear way too much cologne. I mean, I don't know. That sounds expensive. I don't really want to do that. Bobby B so far has the best suggestion, which is kill them with kindness, Louis. I don't know if I have that capability, honestly. I could try, get a new job. Oh my god, there's Rogue Crusader chiming in with probably one of the best suggestions of the night. Work from home, I can't. I don't have a choice to work from home. I gotta be there. Try to open up to them. I don't know how I would. I mean, I could try to be more aggressive and try to, like, pursue people and try to talk to them more or introduce myself. I don't know. That's pretty much the only thing that I've come up with is just try to be generally friendlier. Try to, try to speak to people more. And I don't even know what the fuck I'd say to these people, but yeah, it's just kind of whatever. Continue giving them the sarcastic Louis treatment. I don't know. That doesn't seem to be working so well. That doesn't seem to be going very well. Nah, I don't want to talk about video games. I've already complained about that. Like, I have a bunch of coworkers that are quote-unquote gamers, and I find it cringe. I find the conversation very cringe. I don't like it. Because they don't play anything that I play. Everyone's there, oh, I play this video game. It's like, okay, well, what? Just for Christ's sake, what? What do you play? Oh, well, I play something on Switch. Okay, well, I've never played Nintendo games outside of when I was a kid. I don't play any Nintendo games. Oh, well, I play this on Xbox. Well, I've never played that. I have no idea about that. Well, I've played the Spider-Man game on PlayStation. Well, I've never played that. No, I don't know anything about it. I can't talk to you about it. Come out as a weeb. Fuck that. I'm not a weeb. Fuck you. Who said that? Tyler McDonald in the chat. Fuck you, Tyler. How about that? How about that? They don't play what I play, so cringe. Yes, Taco Liquor. That's my opinion. You play something other than what I play, you are fucking cringe, alright? That's my opinion. Yeah, yapping about games does get old fast. The only time that it doesn't is if you and someone else are playing the exact same game, you have opinions about it, and it's something like a strategy game or an MMO or something like that. You know, there used to be times back in the day when I talk about different MMOs that I was playing with other people where we could talk about hours about that. You know, but I can't, you know, speak to people about games that I've never played and all this shit. No, dude, everyone who I work with hates Call of Duty. Everyone, and I'm not even that big of a fan of Call of Duty. And it's like, I could talk about Modern Warfare 2 or something. Everyone I work with hates Call of Duty. Everyone. So yeah, I don't know, people. I don't know, people. Start following the Buffalo Sabres? Nah, I don't think that's gonna happen. No one does. Shop ham and potato into January 6 picks and leave them around the office. Damn, dude, that's harsh. Ask him if they know who Sargon is. Nah, that's how I get doxxed and I get fired. Oh, hey, by the way, do you know I know Carl Benjamin? Oh, you mean the hate preacher? That's probably banned from the United States? It's like, yeah, I'm going to get a fucking There's an FBI agent in the building. It's like, yeah, I don't want that. There's several people that work in the building that are from different agencies. So, nah, I'm not doing that. I get fired in a nanosecond. But I'd be like, hey guys, you heard of this guy named Nick Fuentes? You want to talk about this guy Nick Fuentes? I'm a big fan of this guy. I'd be fired the same day. It's like, nah, I'm not going to do that. I mean, like, there's no distinction anymore. There's no distinction between anything anymore. What is the distinction between Nick Fuentes and Carl Benjamin? Mentioning either one of those names, if any of the people there have heard of him, I'm getting my ass fired. Talk to them about Factorio? What is that? Talk to them about Alex Jones. There are people that I work with who like Alex Jones. At least 2 people I work with like Alex Jones. I know that. Hey, do you guys know this guy named Jared Taylor? He's had some interesting shit to say. Oh, man. Talk about Life is Strange. I doubt anyone there has heard of it. It's a pretty niche game. I'm just joking about fucking Jared Taylor. I'm not serious about that. The only thing that I know about Jared Taylor is that he's a weeb. He's like a hardcore weeb and white. That's about it from Jared Taylor. Have you heard of this guy named Sam Hyde? You ever hear of this really based and red-pilled guy named Sam Hyde? Alright, yeah. Move away from New York. Okay, that's an option. So far, who said that? Flava Dava. Flava Dava's gotten a good suggestion. Move out of New York. Oh, you want to hear a funny anecdote? This black guy comes up to where I am. And it's at the end of the day. So it's like we're already about to wrap up for the night. We're about done. And this black guy is one of the last people to come in. And so I'm dealing with him. We get through all the minutia of the shit. And we're waiting for something to catch up. We have to wait for something. So I'm talking with this guy, and I'm like, so why are you doing this? Like, why are you doing this thing as it relates to my job? And he's like, because I'm getting the fuck out of this state. And I was like, whoa! I just laughed. I was like, yo, you're my hero. I go, where are you going? He goes, Florida. I'm like, you gotta be shitting me. I just started laughing. I was like, yo, if I had any choice to get the fuck out of this state, that's exactly where I'd be going. And he goes, yep, I'm the same way, and I'm out. And I'm like, oh, man, like, I'm jealous. And he goes, yep. He goes, I've had enough of this shitty state. I hate this fucking state. I'm out of here. I'm going to Florida. Fuck New York. And he looks up and he looks around at my other coworkers. He goes, fuck New York. And I was dying. I was fucking dying. I was like, yo, this guy is my fucking brother right here. This is my African American right here. This guy is fucking great. I was laughing. I'm like, bro, you're my hero. I was like, Godspeed to you, man. Leave this state and never look back. Godspeed. He's cracking up about that. And he's like, yeah, I got family here, so it's kind of awkward. And I'm like, yeah, it's the same way for me. And he goes, I'm trying to get them to move out too, but they don't want to. And I was like, yeah, I'm in the same position. But he's like, I've had enough. Fuck this state. I'm done. And I'm wrapping up paperwork here to get out. And I was like, yeah, I hear you. And I started talking about parts of he's in that weird part that's like near Louisiana, like whatever that part's called. He's like way up there, like northwest Florida. I don't know anything about it, but that's where he's moving to. And he was telling me about that area, and I was like, yeah, I've only been to a few parts of Florida. And I was talking about Clearwater, and he's like, oh, I've been there, and blah blah blah. We were talking about that area, and so. He eventually was like, yeah, I got to go from there. I'm like, nah, I'm not going to hold you up, talk your ear off all night. So that was a great anecdote from tonight. Some random black guy that I interacted with, who basically in the middle of the building was like, fuck New York. It was so great. That was the greatest, man. That was probably the highlight of the week right there, was that guy saying, fuck New York. So, yep. He turned in his badge to the New York Joggers Association, says howdy doodly. Yes. He's no longer black, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we just watched a guy turn in his race card. This our favorite African American here just turned in his race card to move to Florida, and his parting words to me were fuck New York. Oh man. It was so funny. It was so funny, dude. I was dying. No one else laughed! No one else thought it was fucking funny, dude. I was dying. Oh, my God. I don't know what is wrong with people. The state fucking blows. And I was the only one that thought it was hilarious. So, yeah. Anyways, there are some super chats to get to, so I'll catch up on the super chats, because I've been ignoring them. So let me get to that. Today is not the 24th. Hunter says, for 671, finally another politics stream. It's been too long. Thank you. Well, not really. Thank you, Hunter. Geth says, what would get white conservatives to pull their kids out of school en masse like the UK Muslims did? I don't know. Unfortunately, most conservatives are just fucking normies, and they don't really get it. They don't really see there to be an alternative, and they probably think that their school's going to be the exception. Like, you just got to understand how the average like normie thinks. Most people in society appear to be cattle. Like, most people seem to moo. And it's not necessarily to say that they have no redeeming qualities, because that's not true. Most people are good people. That, from my experience, I deal with the public. Most people are good people, or at least neutral. And unfortunately, that's just how normies think. Like, they don't think it's gonna happen to them. They don't think it's gonna be their kids. They think there's an exception for them. You know, it's just how they think. Mobile Crusader says, "Are you glowing yet?" Not particularly. Andrew says, for 659, it's good to see you streaming regularly again. I don't know. That's a bit too much of a high compliment, to be honest, really, but I appreciate it anyways. Hope you're doing well. I mean, about as well as I can be doing, I guess. I don't know. Cowboy Curtis for $50 fucking. Hey, Louis, you nigger, you ever buy that shotgun or rifle or whatever? I've lined up a few things, but I'm waiting to, ironically pull the trigger on buying one. So at some point I'm going to buy one. I know very likely what I'm going to buy. But as it stands, I'm just trying to get through work at the moment. So at some point I am going to buy something. The other thing is cost. Like, I'm being really careful because it seems like it's really easy to overpay for shit. I mean, maybe I should just bite the bullet again, ironically, and just buy whatever. But I'm trying to be careful about what to buy, from where, what it is, and I'm like, this is lower price, but I'm not really too sure about this, and I want to try something out and shoot it before I buy it, and blah blah blah. So it's a lot to do, and I don't really have a lot of time to fuck around with it. So I have a good idea what I want to buy. I just haven't yet for a variety of reasons, but yeah, I plan on it basically. Also, Lamau, your experience working for the government is the reverse of mine. The public often make me want to tear my hair out, but my coworkers are pretty good. Maybe it's location. I have no idea, but mine is the opposite. Like, the public is generally, like, either neutral or okay. Like, I have no problem with the public-facing side of my job. Like, I interact with more pleasant people than I do unpleasant people on a daily basis. So I can't really say what it is. I deal, like, you flip a coin and most people have a generally decent attitude towards me. And, I try to reciprocate that. Sometimes I'm in a shit mood, so I don't, like, I get impatient and maybe that's not fair necessarily. But I try to treat people with some modicum of respect. But my primary focus is the job, so even if I'm in a shitty mood, I'm just trying to get through the job. I'm trying to do what we have to do and get it done. Yep. All right, so thank you to Cowboy Curtis for that big donation. Diddly Doodler says, collections to the pastor, shitty day at work, but sounds like I'm not alone. Yep, sorry there, Diddly Doodler, that you had a bad day yourself, but it is what it is. What can you say? Rogue Crusader is, thanks for the tip and pound up your fucking ass. Oh, that's a good one from Rogue Crusader. Rogue Crusader says, take this one and stick it up your sister's ass. What movie is that from? I'm not sure, but I know what it is. Oh, God, I just remembered. Oh, fuck, what is it? Oh, it's fucking Casino! I just remembered. It's Joe Pesci at the blackjack table. That's who it is. That's where the quote's from. Let me find that. He's talking to, like, the... here it is. Right here. Right here. Let me get this on screen. I don't know if my headphones are plugged in. Okay, hold on. I gotta plug in my fucking headphones. Alright, let me get my fucking headphones on. Sorry.
The way to warn
No.
Get 10,000.
50! I said 50! Fucking 50,000! Go get it! I don't give a fuck where you get it. Fuckers, they take it, but they don't want to give it back. How the fuck can you grin? How the fuck can you grin?
I just want to say this is not far off from my attitude, anyways.
Chum stuff. You give a fuck. Do you?
Look at this beaut.
Yeah. Give yourself a hand right across your fucking mouth. Look at this fucking beaut they put in now. Sherbert sent you in here to rob me now? Been fucking knocking everybody's dick in all night? Huh? You been beating all the customers tonight, motherfucker? Huh? Jagoff? Hit me.
I'm trying to remember where Jagoff is from. Jagoff, isn't that like something from like Philadelphia? Like, where is Jagoff from? No, not Philadelphia. Is it Pittsburgh? I'm trying to remember.
Take this stick.
Oh man, it's easily my favorite gangster movie. Easily my fucking gangster movie, favorite gangster movie. Pittsburgh term. Yeah. Oh no, I gotta fucking who sent that? Hang on. Get sent it. What is it? Oh yeah, this one. Yeah, I think I posted this to Twitter before I got banned. I can't remember if I did or didn't. What the fuck? Play.
I don't give a shit who he's connected to. Tell him to take his fucking feet off the table. What's he think this is, a goddamn sawdust joint?
Sir, would you mind taking your feet off the table and put your shoes on, please?
Yeah, I would mind. I'm having a bad night.
Fucking asshole won't budge.
Full security. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. You want to do me a favor? You want to take your feet off the table and put your shoes back on?
Fuck you.
I want you to exit this guy off the premises, and I want you to exit him off his feet and use his head to open the fucking door.
Sir, you're gonna have to leave. You mind accompanying us outside?
Bullshit, I ain't going anywhere with you.
Bullshit, you're out of here.
I like the Fallout memes incorporated into this. I followed this guy's channel. He uploads some great shit.
Fuck you! Fuck you! You know you're fucking with? Huh? Do you? You fucking Do you know who you're fucking with?
Anyways, what I can't stand is the end of this meme where they misquote him. Where he says, you gotta be kidding me, when they slam his head into the door and he says, you guys are killing me. It's like, you fucking stupid faggot. How does this sound at all like you guys are killing me?
You're kidding me!
How does that sound like you guys are killing me? Like, you misquoted the fucking movie, dude. Come on. Yeah, this guy uploads, I'll recommend this guy's channel. This guy uploads like a lot of funny shit. There's another good one he just recently, I think it might be, oh, the one with Ralphie. This is a good one. I think it might be this one.
Oh, this pendant would look lovely on my sister.
Never should have come here.
Yeah. My favorite one is where is it? Oh, encountering a dragon at level 1. That's probably my favorite one that he's uploaded. Oh, this one's actually really crazy. This is a pretty deep cut when it comes to The Sopranos. This is like a really deep cut when it comes to The Sopranos.
Pussy! Yeah.
The fuck you doing here?
I was in the neighborhood. That bachelor party. They're looking for some entertainment.
I said, you want some coffee?
No, I'm good.
Come on, it's on the boil.
That's a pretty goddamn deep cut from The Sopranos. So that impressed me. And he's got the other one, Hunting a White Stag, when it's Paulie and Christopher in the woods. So yeah, that's a great channel. Really funny. But yeah, yeah, I've seen a lot of people in the chat have, Public Enemy, I didn't like The Departed. I didn't like The Departed. But yeah, I would say Goodfellas is really great because I like Ray Liotta in it. Or Liotta, however you say it. I really like him in it. I like the chick that's in it. That was also in The Sopranos. I forget her name. Let me look up her name. Lorraine Bracco. Bracco, however you say it, played Dr. Melfi. I liked her in Sopranos. I liked her in Goodfellas. She was very good. And she's a good actress. I'm surprised she's not in more shit. She's good. But yeah. Goodfellas was a very good movie. Very well acted, too. A lot of great scenes in Goodfellas. But I still like Casino more. I consider Casino to be my all-time favorite gangster movie. I like it better than the first Godfather. I consider it the best by far. The dialogue in Casino is just so strong. The jokes are so good. Like, the only thing comparable to it is probably The Sopranos. Like, The Sopranos, the humor in The Sopranos is, like, top tier. It's S tier comedy. But Casino's right behind it. It has a ton of great humor in it. But Goodfellas is good. It's more of a drama, honestly. Goodfellas is more of a drama, and it's good for that reason. But there's a ton of fucking humor in Casino, and it's so good. Yes, I think that's pretty obvious. Hot take that Godfather 1 is better than 2. Yeah, no kidding. Godfather 2 is in many ways overrated. I watched that movie like 2 months ago, like the full thing, and I was like, yeah, I like it in general, but I really don't like it anywhere near as much as the first movie. It has a bunch of different problems, but it's neither here nor there, because it's problems that no one acknowledges and never would, so who gives a fuck about talking about why. But the second movie, just to me, is it's okay, it's decently good, but the first movie is great. And the third movie isn't necessarily terrible, but it is in some ways kind of a train wreck. Really sloppy, but it's not altogether a terrible movie. Yeah, Godfather 2, if I ever wanted to do, like, the biggest hot take on my channel, I would talk about all the things I find wrong with the second film. Like, all the problems that it has. And it has a lot of problems. The acting isn't as good, for sure, in the second movie as it is in the first. Not necessarily every actor. There are standout roles in the second film, to be sure. But I consider the first movie to be great, and the second movie just does not compare to it. Anyways, what was it? Oh, yeah, I thought about this the other day, talking about movies. I thought about this the other day. I was outside having a cigarette, and I was like, man, at some point, I gotta do a video on Die Hard 3. Like, I caught, I was over at my parents' house having dinner, and it just came on, they're like, I think it was my father was like, skimming, or whatever it's called, like, where you're just going through channels, channel flipping, whatever it's called, and, surfing, and he turned on Die Hard 3, and I'm like, yo, leave it on. Like, there's nothing on. Just let's watch Die Hard 3. We're eating. Let's watch Die Hard 3. And I was watching it, and I was like, oh my god, this movie's so good. This movie is so fucking good. So at some point, I gotta do a video on it. Like, it's one of the kind of videos or a movie that I wish, like, Mueller would do a video on, or Critical Drinker would do a video on, or somebody who's like a movie reviewer. I wish to God they would do a video on that film, because it is so fucking good. It is such a good fucking film. It has to be like one of the the dialogue in that movie is so fucking good. The pacing of that movie is so fucking good. There's so many breakout standalone scenes. There's so many callbacks. There's so much rich humor. It is so good of a movie. So yeah. Critical Drinker, I don't even think Critical Drinker has any earthly fucking idea who I am, so I'm not really sure. I would have to go through like 2 proxies just to even contact Critical Drinker. But, yeah, I don't really see that as being possible. But, you know, if I could make the suggestion to him, I would, because it is such a fucking good movie. Like, it's not the same as the first. The first movie is good for many reasons, and the reasons why the third is not necessarily why the first is good. There's distinct reasons. And I could give you a very long essay's worth of an explanation of why the first Die Hard is a great movie. But the third movie, dude, for its own reasons. And it's not to say that there's nothing wrong with the film, because there absolutely is. There's a lot of technical problems with the film that's an issue. But the third movie, for the dialogue, the chemistry, the humor, the pacing, it is so fucking good. And the you know what would be the hot take would be the fact that I would defend Die Hard 2. I don't know why people hate it. For some reason, people like, I know why people dislike the fourth movie. Like, there's a considerable amount of people that think the fourth movie's mediocre. I would agree with that. I don't think there's nearly enough people who hate the fifth movie. I hated the fifth movie, and I don't think there's enough people like me who hate the fifth movie. I know why people dislike the fourth. It's obvious. There's only a few parts of it that are redeeming. But the second movie, I don't really get why there's so much, like, disgust towards it. I don't really get it. I think it's a perfectly well-made movie. Is it the first movie? No. Is it the third movie? No. But I don't really get why people dislike it so much, because I honestly think that the villain in the second movie is better than the one in the third. It's not to talk shit about Jeremy Irons, because I know a lot of people like him, but I honestly think that whoever the fuck in the second movie was a better villain than Jeremy Irons in the third movie. I just didn't... I think that he just kind of clashed a little bit in the third one, and it didn't work very well. I forget the name of Snape from the first film. I don't think anyone can top him. Hans Gruber. I don't think it's possible to top him. He was easily the best out of all. Because I think there's some real chemistry with him in that film. And you can see that when he interacts with John, with Bruce, you know, in the film, when they finally meet in the film. Like, there is some, like, legit chemistry between the two characters as protagonist and antagonist. And I don't think you can really replicate that. So, somebody remind me the name of that actor? He's now deceased. What's the name of that actor? Someone remind me. Alan Rickman, thank you. Sorry. The late, great Alan Rickman. He was very good in that film. And not just that. But, yeah. He was very good in that. He was a very good antagonist. He had a very good chemistry and a very good conflict with Bruce Willis as John McClane. Like, it worked very well, and I don't think that's the same for the third movie at all. Don't think it's the same at all. Did not feel that chemistry at all. Outside of a few scenes where Jeremy Irons is playing the role as Simon. Before you really you're introduced to him, when it's just a voice over a phone, there was some chemistry there. But after it becomes, Jeremy Irons is East German, whatever I think he is, then it just kind of falls apart. It doesn't really work, in my opinion. William Stewart, is that the name of the actor? Anyways. Let me catch up on the super chats, because there's been a bunch. Where were we? GG Evans says, friend them with food. That's a decent idea. I don't really want to spend money. I'm not really in the position either. I don't really make a lot of money. Cheese from The Wire says, I met a lot of Nick Fuentes followers at TP USA event in Tampa. They are cringe band kids or repressed homosexuals. Damn, dude, that's fucking harsh. I'm a healthy and well-adjusted gay man, By the way, how many school districts does your county have? Suffolk County, New York has 86 school districts. I think my area has like 3, 4, maybe. I'm not sure. I know of at least 2. I think there's a third one that I'm forgetting. But yeah, I can't really comment on Nick Fuentes' followers. I'm not really a follower of his. I was just being pithy earlier. I do watch his stuff. I haven't watched his stuff in a while. I really should catch up with it a little bit because I like Nick Fuentes in that he doesn't really bend, and you got to give him that. He has an interesting perspective, and while he might not be right on certain things, he is worth listening to because his perspective is unique, and I think that's what makes him stand out. And if he didn't have anything interesting to say, I would just disregard him entirely, and I would treat him like Vosh or any of the leftoid faggots that I don't listen to. I know for a fact none of these people have anything interesting to say, so I don't listen to them. It's not a matter of, oh, they're left, I'm right, or like they don't have anything interesting to say, so I don't listen to them. And if Nick Fuentes was that way, I wouldn't, because there's plenty of people on the right that I don't listen to, because I know they'd have anything interesting to say. But I can't speak to his followers. But I'll take your word for it. I don't know what to say. If you claim you met them, then you would know better than I would. Gaius Natius Caesar. Here is some coin for the church. I spent over $1,500 this last weekend. Bought the Series X. Bought my friend his first gun. Dropped the last $500 on Brit 303 RND 520 RNDS. I'm not sure what that means. I took their entire stock. I'm not sure how well I followed that, but thank you. Gut says, did you see the Neo Unrealist stream about Virginia today? I think Virginia is an interesting microcosm. Sorry, the word split. I've seen it be gentrified by DC over my lifetime. Leftist corporals and immigrants are becoming embattled with white natives. It's the Colorado of the East Coast. I don't know, man. All I know is that I have been shown some shit, seen some shit. Fucking Georgia is weird. That's all I'm going to say. I can't really get into too specific, I can't get into specifics because I don't want to, expose myself as it relates to my job. But all I'm going to say is that Georgia is this weird fucking place. You would think it'd be California. Georgia comes off as California. I've met I've met a bunch of people from Georgia, and I swear to God, if they told me they're from California, I'd believe them. I don't know what's going on from Georgia, but none of them sound like they're from the fucking South. None of them look like they're from the fucking South. And none of them have, the skin pigmentation that I'd associate with someone from Georgia. So I have no idea what the fuck is going on in Georgia, but it looks like it's California. So I don't know what is going on, but I'm surprised every day. I'm meeting people from Georgia, and I'm like, how the fuck are you from Georgia? What, did you just step off the fucking boat, and you're from Georgia? What? I don't know what is going on down there, but it's weird. So yeah, fuck Colorado, dude. I have no idea what's going on. Because a lot of people in Colorado are white. At least that makes sense. Okay, you're upper class white. Okay, yeah, you're probably from Colorado, whatever. But you're from Georgia, and you're some Indian, or you're some Pakistani and all this shit. It's A, what the fuck are you doing here? B, you're from Georgia? What? It's just strange. Anyways, for $12.56, thank you for that there, banana. Come on, libertarian, put me in a self-defense situation. Thank you. My Pain, Your Gain says, wanted your thoughts on the current state of Lolicon and calling for genocide. No opinion on Lolicon. Also, addressing people like Dun can't die. Duncan. What is it? What is this word? I have no, like... Oh, he's a YouTuber. Duncan can't die. Addressing people like Duncan can't die. I don't even know who the fuck he is. Also, when have you talked about Florida? Do you think that another Mike Deanna could happen? Mike Deanna? Mike Deanna? What? He's a cartoonist? I have no... Who is he? I have no idea who he is. Do you think another Mike Diana could happen? I have no idea who he is, so I'm not sure how I can address that. Addressing people like Duncan can't die. Well, I've never fucking heard of him. He's got under 100,000 subscribers. Jesus. He's got 100,000 subs, and he is about as freaking terrible as... He's got about a low fucking view count on his videos as I do. I don't know. Is he like some SJW faggot? Is that who he is? Is he just another SJW? Another future fucking, He looks like, what's the guy's name? Like Spoonie or whoever, the guy with like long hair or whatever who's a gamer who got exposed as being like a sex pest or whatever. I don't, like, he's not even addressing any games that I would give a shit about. And I'm kind of, dude, I'm just honestly kind of past it. Like, I really, really, really don't care about, like, the sort of, like, what is it, rebuttal videos or takedown videos. That's what they are. I just don't really care. Because... I don't know, it's like, it's not 2013 anymore, it's not 2014, it's not 2015. Like, this guy has a stupid, faggot, ignorant opinions, who cares? You would have to give me something. Give me something to attach myself to. Give me something to give a shit about. You gotta give me something specific. Because if this guy's just some random SJW on YouTube, I honestly don't give a fuck. Give me something that I would care about, and I'll consider doing a takedown video of this random asshole. But thanks anyways for my pain, your gain. Gibbering Retard says, the stupid fucking dummy in the car explosion in Casino ruined it for me as a kid. Yeah, but, I mean, you gotta work with what you got. It's stupid, yeah, I agree, but it is what it is. Also, for work, obtusely make a point... tell people not to talk about politics in front of you. Get really artistic about it like the Greatest Generation people did in the 50s. Nah, I don't think so. Winter Phoenix says, Louis, if you leave New York, how would you acquire a waifu? Lol, New York City or the West Coast are the big areas for them, aren't they? I don't know about that. I mean, in my area, it would probably be Toronto. Like, there seems to be a fuckload of Asians in Ontario. So, not exactly a bad area to get an Asian girlfriend. I gotta walk on a campus on UB and get a fucking Asian girlfriend. Half of China's at fucking UB at this point. And I mean University at Buffalo. But thanks anyways there, Winter Phoenix. My pain, your gain says, also, if it's possible, can I reach out to you for a collaboration with my project? I would like to talk to you about Lolicon and talking more about the future of freedom with you. Thanks and much love. Thanks for the super chat. My pain, but no. Diddly Dueler says, got back into Berserk and was wondering if you had seen the 90s anime, and if not, there's a playlist of it on YouTube for free. I highly recommend it. I forget if the anime has it, but some good philosophical questions 100% would recommend. I don't know if I've heard of it. But thanks. Get says, at least Nick Fuentes realizes how stupid backing the blue is. Maybe I'm just a libertarian spurg, but getting over the police love is make or break issue for the right to me. It sickens me, and I feel like the only one on the right with an IQ above 90. I mean, yeah, I agree with not backing the blue if they're going to be freaking, retarded, like soldiers for the global homo, whatever. But I still stand by police, brutally shooting down criminals. Like, I will stand by the blue. I will raise the cringy blue striped American flag and shit. I'll wear a shirt that just says back the blue and all kinds of other cringy shit. And I'll wave the flag like the guy with the video of the guy with the shotgun and the American flag in the wind. I will do that with the fucking, Blue Lives Matter flag for every cop that guns down a fucking piece of shit parasite that they send back to the fucking gutter. Every day of the week I'll do that. Until my dying day, I'll stand by the police when it comes to that. Razor Fist is better than Nick Fuentes. Woo! Now that's something to consider. That's something to consider right there. I would say that Razor Fist has many positive qualities, and that he has... I would say that, honestly, in terms of, like, political calculation, I would probably give that to Nick Fuentes. But when it comes to sort of like a broader base of topics, I would say Razor definitely has that going for him. Razor can talk about quite a bit outside of just politics, but honestly, with Nick, he is just kind of pigeonholed in when it comes to politics. So that's what I would say if you were to compare the two. What's my take on Styx Hexenhammer? I like Styx. I listen to Styx very regularly. I agree with him more than I disagree, although sometimes not for the same reasons. Like we reach the same conclusion, but for differing reasons. However, there are certain things when it comes to Styx that I totally disagree about. And it's not really worth going into what those are and why and all that. It doesn't really matter. Styx is Styx. He's a pragmatist. What is it called? Not anarchist. Minarchist. Like, I believe that's still the label he uses. Is a pragmatic minarchist. And so I would say, obviously, being that I'm neither a libertarian nor an anarchist, that we're going to disagree on when it comes to certain things. But I would say that he definitely is worth some listening to, because I listen to him pretty routinely. How do you talk about abortions? I probably have the most controversial on abortion out of anybody on this earth. I've gotten into abortion before, and my own subscribers have called me a monster. Like, I'm not even joking. So, if anyone's looking for the hottest take on earth, like a fiery hot take, like hotter than the sun, like you have to measure it in some sort of like, science nigger fucking technobabble to measure it. I'm pretty sure I have the hottest take on abortion than anyone. I'd have German scientists telling me to calm down. And I stone-faced stand by it. Yeah, I'm sorry for you Christians in the audience that are like, no, every life matters. No, save the retards, Louis. And I'm like, no. No. And it's like, the funny thing too, it's like, it's not even like you can't even call me bigoted or anything. It's like, I've come to the conclusion that I have based on pure exposure. Just based on pure exposure, I've had the same opinion for, like, Jesus. How long would it be? 12 years, 13 years, 14 years, I've held the same opinion on abortion, pretty much. And, all I can say is that, like, it's been through exposure that viewpoint has stood the test of time. Anyways, let's see here. Let's see here. Where were we? Road Crusader says for 657, did you go to the January 6th rally? No. It was as totally legit. Oh, you mean the recent one? Yeah, I was there. But let's just say I was there on the job, okay? It was fucked up. You know, I had some cop come up to me. He was like, hey, you got a gun. I'm like, bro, shut the fuck up. Shut up, dude. Like, fuck off. He was like, no, excuse me, sir. You got a gun on your holster. I'm like, no, shut up. Look at my lanyard. Shut up. But it was a fucking disaster, man. That rally, I gotta say. It really could have gone better, but it just... I had cops on my shit, you know. Anyways. All of my friends went there wearing short sunglasses and watches. Like, we were like, wait, you gotta say the same, matching, duplicate. You can't just say they're all like, yeah, people there were wearing short sunglasses and watches. Yeah, I wear a watch at work. No, you gotta say duplicates, because that's what it was. There was literally guys in that photo wearing the same fucking watch. It was so, like, one of those guys had freaking a fucking sticker on his glasses. It was so ridiculous. Oh, man. Anyways. I was down there like, hey, you guys want to buy some illegal firearms to take on the federal government? Anyways, where were we? Gaius Natius Caesar says, oh my god, dude, is that a mistake? Gaius Kaiser for $150 fucking dollars. Oh my god, dude, what is wrong with you? This guy's probably some spurg who works for some, like, he works for Google or some shit. That's how he affords this shit. I hope you're not poor there, bro. If you are, save your money. Don't send me this shit. But if you're some, like, tech nigger, go ahead and send me your money. You don't deserve it. Working for these fucking evil companies, you give me that money. But if you're poor, don't send me this money, man. Anyways, what does he say? Thank you very much for that. Take this shit and use it to buy a gun and fucking learn gun speak. R&D is shorthand for rounds. Well, just say rounds! Why do you gotta say R&D? Just say rounds. You're worse than the fucking people I work with. All I do is listen to abbreviations all fucking day. Don't use abbreviations around me. Just say what the fuck you're gonna say, you dick. Thanks for the $150, though. Love your content, though. Thank you very much, Kaiser. But, I don't want to learn gun speak like all you gun nut niggers, alright? I live in New York. I don't know shit. I can barely buy a gun in this shithole state. But thanks for the money. My Pain Your Gain says, Mike Diana was tried for obscenity and charged. He was tried and held as a pedo because of his art. Made a pretty unsuccessful documentary that still is pretty good about the whole thing. Well, I'll keep that in mind. Maybe at some point I'll look it up. Because there's not very many cases about obscenity. There really isn't. If you look into it, there's not many cases around it because it's something that a lot of judges they don't want to fuck around with. It's only the actual, like, pornography and, like, legit child abuse and all that. Those get, done and done. But where it's, like, an actual obscenity case, where it's not, like, you're abusing a child, this is the name of the child, that sort of thing, but literally you're drawing shit we don't like, there really aren't too many cases like that. I don't like that the right can't make, and this is from the Geth, I don't like that the right can't make liberty arguments without appealing to Sky Daddy in the cringiest way. Well, I mean, honestly, when it comes to the argument of liberty, the best arguments were the arguments of the founders, which in part was, the creator, but it was like the entire philosophy behind natural rights is the entire concept of what you're able to do should the government not intervene. So long as there's no government, what can you do? Well, you can speak, and you can do all these things. That's the entire philosophical basis around these rights, the rights that we actually have that are considered natural rights, things that are not, you need to provide me Gibbs. I think it's pretty obvious, you know. I'm free to do X, but you providing labor for me, that's not a liberty. That's not a right. It's impossible for that to be the case. It's not a natural right. But in all honesty, to defend my fellow Team Red Christians, this is the easiest argument to make. It's very difficult to explain to your average person who's mooing at you and expecting you to moo in return. You know, it's hard to explain to them the entire concept of natural rights and why it makes sense. Okay, the left is out there saying that everything's a fucking right. Like, they're giving away everything as a right. It's very easy to make that stupid argument. It's a lot harder to explain why it's not the case, why that's just philosophically not a right. Not even we shouldn't provide it because we can't afford it or blah, 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 but literally this is not an actual philosophical right that you can have as a natural right because of XYZ reasons. Because the fucking, the cattle of our society are going to be listening to you and just going like, blah, 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 like they don't understand what the fuck you're saying. So if you go, God, people are going to say, yes, God, and that's it. It's an easy argument. That's why people make it. So I know how that's going to come across as insulting, but I know why they do it. I know and to me, it's not necessarily an appealing argument to me, but I understand why they do it, and why even the founders did it. Because ultimately, it's speaking from the idea of natural rights exist in nature, so provided a state doesn't, invade the it doesn't stop a person from doing something. And it basically, the entire basis of that philosophy, like the justification of that argument, is Christianity. Like, it's a long road between the founding of Christianity to the entire idea of natural rights. I think there is a direct connection to sort of Christian theology and the entire philosophical basis of the Enlightenment. I think there's a one-for-one connection, and there's a whole bunch of fucking airhead, or not really airhead, but big brain, esoteric faggots that would explain that in the most erudite way possible, why that is, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's not really necessary, but in many ways, appealing to God is just shorthand for that. It's technically right, and it's why I would never argue against it, to say that, God has given me these rights. God has imbued me with these rights. Because basically, if God is responsible for your creation, and God is not responsible for the creation of the state, why is the state imposing itself upon you for these reasons, for these things that would otherwise you would be free to do, free to pursue? It's fundamental to the argument is the entire concept of you being the creation of God, of us being the creation of God. It is basically the bedrock of the argument. It's not wrong. It could be considered cringy, but like I say, it's not necessarily wrong. So anyways, I didn't even finish what he's saying. But if I have to choose between the Invisible Man in the Sky and child drag queen shows, then Christ is King, motherfucker. Yeah, I'm the same way. Like, if the choice is between like global homo hedonistic nihilism fucking shit, or we're all raising up a cross together, chanting in like violent unison, like we're shouting at the top of our lungs, Christ is King! Christ is King! Like, I'm joining in. Give me a rope, and we're pulling that fucking crucifix up together. We're just hopefully we don't light it on fire. That's all I'm saying. Like, a bridge too far. Let's hopefully not light this motherfucker on fire, but let's raise this cross together, and I'll be right alongside everyone else screaming Christ is King. Because the other people on the other side are fucking evil. Alright? Can shout out in the chat. Can we get a Christ is King in the chat? All the atheists in the chat. We need to shout out Christ is King. People are like, no, we gotta light the cross, Louis. Come on, half steps, Louis. Come on. What's with the compromise? No. Let's not. Let's leave the cross extinguished, please. Anyways, where were we? I saw something just come in. Hold on. Diddly Dueler says, pour one out for Norm Macdonald. The best there was, I like Norm Macdonald, but the best there was, OJ is gonna kill his next ex-wife as a tribute to the deity of Norm. I guess. I don't know. My opinion of Norm Macdonald was kind of mixed, so it's sorry for him. I'm not surprised that he died, because he really didn't seem healthy to me. Everyone's like, oh my god, I was so shocked. I was like, really? He looked pretty sickly for quite a while. I'm not really surprised. It's sad he died, but I'm not surprised. Anyways, where were we? We got another super chat. Where does it? My Painter Game says, what is the most intense, serious threat you've received, if any at all? Well, if you listened to my fucking years-long discussions about my job previously as a private investigator, I got threatened all the fucking time. Like, I had people make threatening gestures. I had people chase me. I had people say that they were going to fucking kill me. Like, I got threatened all the time. So, you know, the worst one is, like I said, I had a guy put a gun in my face. I had some random fucking black guy stroll up to me in the middle of a shitty part of Buffalo, pull a gun right out of his waistband, wave it right in my face, and say that if I didn't get the fuck out of there, he was going to shoot me in the face. Like, that was the worst threat I've ever received. Is a guy who stuck a gun in my face and said he was going to murder me. So, there's that. Another one. The guest says, I will throw the Christians a bone and say if any group is worthy of the label evil and the fire and brimstone, it's these people. Yeah, I like, a while ago, Sargon and I talked about this a long time ago, and we were debating this. Like, we debated this, I think, either in a stream or in a private conversation, whether we thought the people that we were against were evil. And then eventually we just both came to the same conclusion. Like, yeah, these people are fucking evil. And now you can just go ask Carl. Go ask him. Like, do you think that people, like, he was really, like, on the fence about this. Like, oh, I don't want to use moral language. Go listen to what he used to say. But, no, at some point, he just realized in the same way that I did. Like, it took me a while, too. I thought these people were just confused or whatever. But it's like, no, these people are, like, legit fucking evil people. Like, legitimately cruel and evil, fucked up, twisted, psychotic people. Like, they are legitimately evil. And, he doesn't pull any punches anymore, and good for him. I stand with him. You know, I salute the Don for that reason, that we're both on the same page, that these people that we're opposed to, not all of them, obviously, but not exactly a small amount either, that are just legitimately evil fucking people. Like, malevolent, evil. Like every word that you could describe to say that these people are just scheming scum and just have, like, outright malevolent intention. Like, they're terrible people. Yes. Okay. That is it, I believe, in terms of super chats. Anything important that we need to discuss? Anything else for tonight? Because we're not even 2 hours in. I'd like to keep things going a little bit, because I'm kind of out of the loop. I've been banned on Twitter for a while now. You know, I'm like in the cave looking at shadows on the fucking wall, wondering what's happening on the outside. Like, self-aware of where I am. What's going on out there, people? I have no idea. Probably have to catch up. Cop vids. Louis on Lotus Eaters when? I don't even think I can leave the country. Can I even fly? I don't even have a passport. I'm not vaccinated. Can I even get there? I probably get banned from the UK, and it won't even be because they say nigger. It'll be because I'll get banned for not having vaccine. The BPD, Border Patrol, you mean, whipped Haitians? I wish they fucking would. Whip them the fuck out of this country and back to that shithole they come from. They let Mueller and Critical Drinker do call-ins? Fuck, man. I gotta message fucking Sargon and be like, bro, I gotta DM call him if I can. I don't think I can. I don't think you can freaking DM on fucking Gettr. I don't even know if you can. Be like, get me on. You guys need to get over there and abuse him. Gotta at Sargon and tell him to fucking get me on. Getz says, I think the point of no return for our country was early in 2017 when the left at large was permissive of Antifa violence. The genie should have been put back in the bottle, and the resulting divergence is irreparable, at least in my opinion. Yeah, I don't really know how much I disagree with you there. Basically, the left would have to basically turn on itself and basically regulate itself. You would really need some top-down level shit when it comes to the left to correct. And I just don't think they're capable of it at this point. Like, they seem to be whole hog in the ideological fucking fervor, and they're not showing any signs of stopping. Quintessential says, you see the Amazing Atheist last video where he basically advocates for a ministry of truth because of COVID, arguing that an utterly a contradictory opinion to health officials and scientists should be a crime. So much for his underlying support of free speech. Yeah, unfortunately, like, again, I said this a long time about the Amazing Atheist, is that this is kind of just the result of being a hedonistic nihilist. What do you expect? Like, if you are a nihilist, you will eventually gravitate to the fucking popular opinion. It's just how you are. Like, you don't really have any principles when you're a nihilist. And he is. He is. So, I don't watch The Amazing Atheist. I haven't in quite a long time. He's not worth listening to. And he is a hedonistic nihilist, and I would never listen to him again for that reason. He's not worth listening to. Guess says, do you feel like a Twitch thought for getting desperate young men tipping you on the internet? I feel like I should ask for nudes. Not for $1, Geth. I mean, I appreciate your support, but I'm just saying this in a joking fashion. You better up those dollar amounts there, bro. You want some fucking nudes, you better up those dollar amounts. You better be like, what was his name from earlier? Gaius Kaiser. Gaius Kaiser is over here dropping $150 a crack, man. You better get that fucking Google money if you want to get some nudes, bro. But yeah, I said that about The Amazing Atheist when I still watched him. I used to listen to him all the time. He is one of the reasons why I became an atheist. I can actually credit him for why I eventually became an atheist, was him. He's one of the people that played a role in it. But I don't really know what happened to him. I would say that, I've said it before, we both read Friedrich Nietzsche. We came to totally opposite conclusions, and I'll never understand why he came to the conclusions he did. The guest says, oh, he already answered that. Never mind. Thought there was a new super chat. Oh, there was. Guest says, simp equity, bro. Come on. Nope, no simp equity. It's a hierarchy. If you guys are going to simp for me, I need everyone to smash the like button, and I need, lots of unearned praise, and I need lots of gibs. Okay, that's how you get to the top of the simp hierarchy. Oh man, some of you guys in the chat. Oh yeah, I need to pull my best DSP. Be like, guys, I owe $500,000 in taxes. Oh, I need you guys. Where's the money? Where's the Gibbs? You know, I'm relatively bad at games at this point, so maybe I can follow in his footsteps. But you know, I need the nasal snort, and I need the panhandling, like the mean-spirited panhandling. Then I'll truly ascend to become DSP. Roe Crusader says, any left-wing people you listen to? I used to when I was on Twitter. I used to listen to left-wing people when I was on Twitter, but on YouTube, honestly, I don't even think there is anyone at this point. I'll go under my subscriptions. I mean, there's channels that I listen to that are not political. No. The answer's no. Yeah. The answer's no. I don't follow anyone who's left-wing anymore. Oh, actually, you know what? I'm still subscribed to H3H3 because they haven't uploaded in a year. I totally forgot I was subscribed to H3H3. But yeah, I'm subscribed to Ethan Klein and totally forgot about it. And the reason I forgot is because he hasn't uploaded on his channel in a year. But yeah, I listen to a bunch of people that are apolitical. But in terms of politics, everyone I follow on YouTube is right wing. And on Gettr, I have no choice. Like, there are no left wingers on fucking Gettr. I used to follow a bunch of different left wing outlets when I was on fucking Twitter, but I can't anymore. Sargon is a leftist? Is that what I'm hearing? Sargon the leftist? I need people in the chat to confirm. Is Carl a leftist now? I wasn't aware. I'm pretty sure he would take offense to that. He'd be like, yo, that's a fucking insult. Gaius Caesar says, it's not Google money, it's taxpayer-fed bucks. Got a lot of extra cash from my GI Bill and playing the system to pay you, just giving back the tax dollars. Well, thank you there, Gaius Caesar. I am also a gibber like you. I'm a gibber, part of the gibberment. Just like you. So thank you for the money, but don't donate it if you can't afford it, all right? I've never advocated people donate any obscene amounts of money to me. You donate $1 here or there, whatever. Give the money, because it's just $1. But big amounts of money, I always tell people to be careful about, because I don't want people to get over their head when it comes to money and that kind of shit. You know, because I'm a pretty frugal person myself, and, you know, I made money. When I lost my job and I was on unemployment, I didn't make much money, but I made like $1,000 from being unemployed. Didn't lose any money. Even with a mortgage, didn't lose any money. because I'm a very frugal person, so I would advocate everyone be like that. So what's going on in the chat? Are we still arguing whether Sargon is a leftist? Oh shit, are people actually arguing that? Damn, dude. Damn, dude. Fucking Sargon's getting blasted. Get says, I know Sargon says listen to all sides, but the left is too brain dead to stomach. Do you think the bread tubers might be legit special eds? Vosh is suspicious. Special eds, I don't know. I wouldn't want them in a special ed class, especially Vosh. That's dangerous. I've seen people argue about liberalism. A few people, actually. Nick Fuentes. Oh, what's his name? What is his name? I used to follow him on Twitter until I got banned. What is his name? Let me look him up. Oh, where is he? Oh, where is he? I forget his name, unfortunately. Yeah, unfortunately I don't remember his name. I know his YouTube channel, but he doesn't have his name on it, so unfortunately I can't tell you. But there's one other person that I follow that both argue that basically liberalism is cringe and liberalism is leftist, and one of them is Nick Fuentes. Nick Fuentes is like that. I do agree that and I've seen this from Cullum and Sargon on Lotus Eaters, where basically, we need to get back to color blindness, and we need to go back to like 90s liberalism. And I honestly think that we're kind of past the point where that's possible. I don't think that's ever coming back, and I don't know that necessarily it helps to kind of delude yourself about that. So if I ever was on the Lotus Eaters and that came up, I would definitely be in contention with Carl and Cullum about that. That I don't think the 90s are ever coming back. And when it comes to the whole colorblind aspect of this, it's like, unfortunately, it seems like race consciousness is rising, and the best we can do is try to steer that in a positive direction and mitigate it. I don't think there's really anything that we can do to go back to where we were. Like, I just don't think it's possible. Like, we are basically going to have to come to some position that is not necessarily like, it's not necessarily like a white nationalist perspective, but it has to be that if we are basically going to say that, like, the Anglo-Saxon culture that is basically the bedrock of the United States of America, like all of these different concepts of liberalism, of republicanism, of whatever, if all of these things we can classify as white, if we're going to get into this argument, it's going to be, okay, then fine, these things are white, they are good, and if they are therefore white and good, you know, it doesn't mean that you necessarily have to be white to find these things appealing, but what's going to be required is that you have to agree to these things in order to be part of this group. If you want to be white, then you have to agree with these things. And if you don't agree with these things, then you're not going to be white. And unfortunately, it's like that's not an exclusive perspective in that way to really say that, like, oh, well, you're X, you're that. But it is to say that I'm not accepting of, like, well, we're the Latino nationalists. Well, we're the black nationalists. It's like, no, fuck you. Fuck you. You people are evil. Fuck you. And really, we have to come up with some kind of compromise. And we can't simply say that we're never going to have to address the issue of what it is to be white. And if all of these different positive things are going to be categorized as white, we can't abandon the label of white, because that is the thing that is being given to us. We have all of these different people pointing their fingers at us, and they're saying, white, 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 white. We can't bow. We can't, like, the minute we all put down, like, we bend the knee, we're getting our heads lopped off. We're like, I don't want to say the word genocided, but that is what's going to happen. Like, we're going to have violence done to us. And so we can't have this attitude of 90s colorblindness. It just isn't possible. It isn't possible. Like I said, it isn't necessarily going to mean that, burn the cross white nationalism shit. Like, I don't agree with that. But I am saying that things are headed in a direction where we're never going to be able to go back for the foreseeable future to 90s liberalism, to 90s colorblindness. It's not going to happen. It's simply not going to fucking happen. We have to have some tribal aspect to us. We have to. We simply can't abandon the concept of what makes us us to get away from being called racist. Like, we can never, ever be called racist, and so for that, we need to throw everything away. It's like, we can't do that. There has to be something that unifies us. And if people say, well, America's white, the Constitution is white, the founders were white, all these things are white, we can't just say, okay, then fuck it, throw it all away. Oh no, I'm not a racist. Fuck it, throw it all away. Like, then we have nothing left. And then we're going to get genocided. It's literally going to, like, the minute that white people throw up their hands and they say, okay, fuck the Constitution, fuck the Republic, fuck liberalism, fuck it all, fuck my rights, just don't call me a racist, we're going to get genocided. That's it. That's the end. And it's like, so we can't let that go. We can't say, no, 90s liberalism, we need to get back. We need to get back to the concept of colorblindness. It's like, listen, they're never going to let us go there. And it's not headed in that direction. Like, that's not what kids today are being taught. They're being taught race consciousness. We're going to appeal to, like, millennial bullshit for a generation that are basically hyper race conscious. How in the world are we going to win anything? We just can't do it. So, like I said, we basically just have to come up with something that is not white nationalism, but does not disregard race. We can't do it. It's not going to be possible. So yeah, it's just basically, there are ways, and you can see it, where plenty of people are going to be involved that are not going to be white, that see eye to eye with all of us on every goddamn thing. There are many members of my audience that I know that are not white, that agree with me to a large extent, and blah, blah, blah. So I understand that there's no reason to go well into all this, like, white separatist, white nationalist, cringy shit. Because, one, it's stupid. It doesn't make any sense. Like, I have no affiliation with, like, oh, European shit. Oh, man, greater ideal. Look at this classical art. It's like, fuck all that faggy shit. Your LARPing escapades of nonsense on 4chan and shit. Like, that's so cringe and stupid. But at the same time, and so by that I mean this to say that it isn't necessary that we be exclusive on race. It isn't necessary. There's so many people that agree ultimately with us that are not white. So that means that it would be ridiculous to go down that route of saying, well, whites only. Like, whites only Clubhouse. Like, it's a bad idea. It's stupid. And at the same time, we should not be, like, bending on our knees and, like, I'm a white ally, I'm sorry. Like, we can't do that, and we can't say we're going back to white, 90s liberalism and that. It's just not possible. So I would say that I am a nationalist. I am firmly a nationalist. And my opinion is that we need to very much structure the state. We need to structure our society in favor of Americans. And we need to say goodbye to the strangers in our society. We need to say goodbye to the guests that have overstayed their welcome. And, some of them are going to say, no, I don't want to leave. And, well, then we're going to have to do something about that. And we'll just leave it at that. That can mean many things. But, yeah, I very much am a nationalist. And I think that's the way to go. Nationalism is the way to go. It seems to be winning. Seems to be continuously winning. And it seems to draw a lot of people to it. White people, non-white people, but in many ways, all Americans. People that are supportive of, even if they don't fit neatly within the category of American, they're people that we can pressure to fit into the category better. And that's what we need. We need people that we say, hey, you need to be more American. And they go, oh, yeah, sorry, you're right. I will try to be more American. That's what we need. We need more people that will be more American when we tell them to be more American. And we need less people that are going to be like, oh, fuck America, and fuck Americans, and fuck being American, and fuck whites. Those are the people we need less of. We need less of those people. Anyways, I hope that answers the question. I'm pretty sure that was a question. Yes, it was. Where were we? Excuse me. Bali says, so are you going to be streaming full playthrough of Life is Asian by any chance? As gay as it sounds, I kind of got invested in the story after part 1. Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it. So yes, the answer is yes. I'm going to keep going, maybe tomorrow. I got to see what I got to do. I got a bunch of shit I got to catch up on because of work. So I got to get some shit done tomorrow, so we'll see. But I'd like to do another stream tomorrow. Guy Caesar says, I got into an argument with a real-life future commie teacher arguing humans were good until society. Dudes like 30s to 40s trying to become a teacher. Dude literally drives a pedo van. Can't make that shit up. He might be a fucking pedophile. Like, there are a lot of pedophiles that become teachers. You gotta always be suspicious of people that go into professions that are around kids. Like, legit. Anyone where it's involved with kids, you have to be suspicious. And I'd advocate that to you as a parent. Because some good people do those jobs because they love kids and they're family men and family women and, whatever. But you're going to attract pedos. Just look at all the female teachers that get busted for fucking, 12-year-olds and shit. Like, any person that gets involved with kids, you got to be suspicious of. And I would just say be careful with that guy. Get says, can you at least agree that 2020 proved that libertarians are right on corporate cronyism and the police? Are you saying that you agree that Fuentes-style race politicking needs to be adopted? I would say that I don't necessarily agree with Nick. Outside of the idea of no longer being on your knees, like not having an issue with people who said that I'm not ashamed of being white or anything like that. I'm not like, it's just a question of whether you see race as important or not. And I still think you can take the disposition of saying race is not important, but being American is important. And I don't think that Nick would necessarily disagree, so long as that you're advocating a positive stance towards what you believe society should be. I think Nick's problem is that it's the limp dick sort of like hands-off libertarian attitude of let the left roll over us that offends him and that what he disagrees with. I would say that we may have we probably have differing perspectives, but ultimately we're both agreed on the big picture of the fact that black nationalism is a problem, Latino nationalism is a problem, our immigration is a problem, and the pure numbers game is a problem. I would say that we're on the big picture entirely aligned, but that we would differ in terms of what should be then done, and maybe necessarily what the right direction is to go in the precise manner. Like, I really don't think that... I think we would agree more than we would disagree because of his pragmatic attitude. In terms of his actual beliefs, I would say that we probably disagree, but in terms of what he advocates and what is right politically, we would probably agree more than disagree, based on what I've seen of him. In terms of, like, 2020 proved that libertarians right on corporate cronyism, I don't know. I mean, libertarianism is cringe. Libertarians are right about state involvement in the economy. I've already conceded that a million times, so I don't need to do it again. But in terms of cronyism itself, I mean, I don't know. I mean, it seems like corporations have more power than the state. So to turn around and be like, oh, the government, it's like, yeah, but the fucking corporations are calling the shots. Like, what do I give a fuck? So, I don't know. I have mixed opinions about libertarianism, and I always will. And in terms of the police, it's like, I don't know. I would disagree, because fucking libertarians are... They think that people should be... They're anarchists. They think that people should be allowed to do whatever they want. I believe in an orderly society. That's what I believe in. And libertarians don't. So, I'm sorry, but no. I don't agree that the libertarians are right about police. I disagree. Libertarians believe that all cops are bastards. That's what they believe. They think fuck laws... Fuck state power in every regard. Let the criminals run rampant. And if you disagree, then disagree with me. But that's my opinion of libertarians. They sympathize with criminals in the same way that Black Lives Matter does. That's why you saw those boogaloo cringe lords and Black Lives Matter holding hands. So, sorry. I know I have libertarian listeners, but I'm not backing down. And I already answered the question on Nick Fuentes. Yorick says, check out at Sniper Sergeant's pinned tweet for the best clip of Sargon saying of hello procurement streams at Sniper Sergeants. Alright. I'll see if I can get on Twitter. Alright, let me listen to this. Am I logged in? I shouldn't be.
That's all people. The left the pedos.
Oh, Carl, man, I love him.
The left the pedos. Pedo. That's all people should hear when they think of left politics. And there's so many examples.
I totally agree. I totally agree with Carl. I mean, this is the transformation he's made, is that he makes actual legitimate moral arguments against the left, and I agree wholeheartedly with him, because he's absolutely right. Our enemies are fucking sick. They are twisted fucking people. Dude, these people read Derrida and Foucault and all these people, and they were all fucking pedophiles. It's like, what are you supposed to say? Like, these are the people they cite as, like, the founders of their movement, and they're all fucking pedophiles. They believe in the abolition of the age of consent. What can you say? They are disgusting. And they're hedonists! Like, okay, here's the thing. Like, not only am I in favor of an age of consent, but I am actively opposed to promiscuity with legal adults. I am opposed to promiscuous sex. So you have two, I mean, I'm not going to go full, like, born-again Christian, wait until you're married to have sex. Like, I'm not going to say that. But I am going to say age of consent exists for a reason and must exist. Promiscuous sex is wrong. Okay? Like, those are the things that I stand by as my own values. And, like, with the left, like, they actively are opposed to those two ideas. They are against the idea that promiscuous sex is immoral, and they're opposed to the age of consent in general. They see that as a boundary, as a restriction, oppression on whatever, on the decision of the child or whatever the fuck. They're sick fucking people, man. So thank you, Yorick. Chris says, hypocrite maybe. I know he makes comments like that saying liberalism is a mental disorder for shock value, but elaborates further, noting types of people who gravitate towards it tend to be crazy. I think you mean leftism, not liberalism, but I can't follow hypocrite. I'm banned on Twitter. I used to. I don't know if he would just say that. Like, hypocrite, from what I follow, was pretty fucking based. Like, he said some edgy shit. Chance says, everything is cringe and cringe-pilled. I don't think the United States will survive. The incessant importation of non-conforming gibbers has been too much to cope with. I am disgusted with other Americans. The meek shall inherit strife and suffering. Well, I have to say there, Chance, that, The upside, the white pill, is that basically when the money runs out, the game's over. And it's not really accelerationism, like, it's not that cringe attitude, but it's like, my role in this country is not, oh, my God, my family, like, my freedom even, like, that is not, like, the people who believe in acceleration are like, oh, my freedoms, my liberties, my guns, my rural shithole freaking house in middle of nowhere that's not being imposed upon at all by anything, fuck it at all. It's like, no, if the money runs out, good. That's fine. Then all the parasites will go. Bye. They'll go to the UK. They'll go to Sweden. They'll go wherever. The strangers will leave. We'll say goodbye, strangers. Bye. So I'm not really worried about the money running out. It would actively help the United States, because I don't give a fuck about Wall Street. I don't give a fuck about productivity. I don't care about the GDP. I don't care about how many billionaires we have in this country. I don't care. That's not essential to me in the slightest. What I care about is the United States being the United States. And the fact of the matter is, especially the Indians. I'll say this about the Indians in particular, and by that I mean from the subcontinent. They're here to extract wealth. That's my disposition when it comes to the Indians. I'm sorry, there might be some Indians in my audience. I don't know. I'm not trying to be offensive here. But from those I've met, you're just here to take money from us. And I get that with a lot of Asians. A lot of Asians, too. It's like, yeah, you could really give a shit about this country. You're just here to get money. You're here, like, I'm here to get some money. And it's like, well, what if there is no money? It's like, well, then you're going to fuck off back to wherever you're from, aren't you? So, in all honesty, I'm not an accelerationist, but I'm not worried about the game coming to a conclusion. Because the fact is that the nationalists will inherit this country. I don't want there to be collapse. I don't want there to be things falling apart. I want the money to run out. Because when the money does, all the parasites will leave, and people like me are going to be who's left. And we'll inherit this country. Once all the guests are gone, once all the gibbers are gone, they'll go elsewhere. They'll go to another country. So, that's fine. It's not about the GDP for me, it's about the nation. I think America is a good country, and there's nowhere else in the world I'd rather be. I think America is a good place, and maybe we could get back to being a good nation if we weren't focused on wealth and GDP and extracting wealth from the middle class to give to the givers and that. You know, if the money runs out, then everyone, all these people who I don't want here are going to fuck off. They're going to go right back to where they're from. So yeah, sorry if you're some minority that lives here. I'm not trying to insult anyone, and maybe you're the exception, but all I can say is I've met plenty of non-natives, let's say, and you guys are just here to take money. You don't really give a fuck about this country. You like it because you can get money out of us. Where was I? Let's see. Hunter says, why do you think of the idea of making it so you get more votes depending on how many kids you have? Base your... Oh, dude, I don't know if that's a good fucking idea. File your taxes or something. More kids, more stake in society, more votes. I don't know, dude. Then the Latinos will inherit the fucking earth, dude. If kids are gonna decide this shit, Muslims and fucking Latinos are gonna run this motherfucking country, dude. And I gotta say that I've met plenty of Puerto Ricans, and God forbid if they ever run this fucking country. God forbid. I know I actually have a couple Puerto Rican listeners, and I am saying, I'm not talking about you guys, but I am saying, generally speaking, Jesus fucking Christ. I'd rather have Islam run this fucking country than Puerto Ricans. You know, inshallah, or however it's said, put the Muslims in charge, but fuck me if the Puerto Ricans ever take over. God damn, is this country dead. Let's see here. So yeah, I'm not really sure if I'm on board with more kids, more votes. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. Let's see here. Adultery needs to be actually punishable by law, and the uphill battle that we have is extremely scary with social Darwinism when social Darwinism takes place. Well, you'll have to explain my pain. You'll have to explain the latter portion of that. The uphill battle, social Darwinism takes place. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Legit, explain it to me. But adultery has to be punishable by law. I'm not really sure. I mean, I don't think it's necessary. Like, in my world, you don't really need to do it. I mean, I don't know. I find adultery to be awful, and I would never do it. I mean, if you're so unmoved by the person you're married to, just get a fucking divorce. I don't know. I that's a strong opinion. I can't really say that I agree, but I do agree that I find adultery to be disgusting. But I don't know what you mean by that latter half. Oh, man. I'm dying over here. I'm getting tired. I'm getting sleepy. Miscegenation laws. Who said that in the chat? Dresden? Nah, dude. We might have to time you out of this chat, dude. Okay. I still gotta say that I still have hope. What you need to do, if you're gonna link up with somebody who's non-white, you need to assert dominance. You need to T-pose on that bitch, alright? That's how this works. She comes into the picture and she says, well, I'm gonna bring in all my foreign bullshit. It's like, no, T-pose on that bitch. You're white now. Listen to me, you are now white by my definition. You certainly need to start acting like it. That's what needs to be done. And I guarantee you that would work. What kind of society are we living in where we don't have husbands T-posing on wives and say, no, now, bitch, you are white by my definition. That's a damn good society to live in. You don't have to be, their skin pigmentation, I mean, they could be white by definition, certain definition, but you need to tell this bitch that they ain't no minority now anymore. They're white. You need to get over it. So yeah, I'm against any kind of laws around miscegenation. I'm in favor of a reborn inclination society to, if people are going to link up that are white and non-white, the whites need to step up. They need to step the fuck up. They need to find their fucking balls and say, no, bitch. Listen, bitch, you're white now. And tell me how I'm wrong, how that won't work. How that won't actually solve problems. How that would not solve this entire problem. That would solve this society's ills overnight. If it worked with the Italians and the Irish and everybody else to say, no, listen, bitch, you're white now. How would it not work with, like, other races? It's like you link up with your black girlfriend and you propose to her. And she's like, yes, yes. You're like, listen, okay, you just accepted, but now I'm here with some, not with a proposition, with qualifiers. You've agreed, but I have my qualifiers. And one is that you're not white, bitch. You can't go around and say, well, I'm black and proud. No, you're white, bitch. If your name is anything but an Anglo-Saxon name, you're changing it. You're taking my last name. You're white, bitch. That's how it needs to be. And tell me I'm wrong. Tell me how that wouldn't solve everything. Oh, man. Anyways, where were we? Diddly Dueler says, drop the link to the Sargon tweets. Fine. I'll see if I can put it into the chat. It won't let me do it. I'm only doing this because you gave me money, by the way. If you didn't give me money, I tell you to fuck yourself. Dueler says, drop the link to the Sargon. Stop! Alright, put this in there. Alright, hopefully that linked right. There you go, I linked it in the chat. That's his account, Sergeant Sniper, who I think followed me before I got banned. And the pinned tweet is Sargon calling the leftist pedos. My Pain Your Gain says, or the parasites will take the lives of the innocent. When you look at the number of how many of these people exist, it becomes really scary. Yeah, I know, trust me. There's a lot of people that are dependent on the government. It's fucking insane. Especially, I mean, I can't really talk too much shit. I work for the government. Especially when they swarm around you just because of someone's opinion. I guess that's more cattle in society than people being parasites. People being cattle. Gettr says, I think your desired end goal is to be like the Southeast Asia, not the richest nations on earth, but stable, calm society. I think most people under 35 now realize GDP and shit is overrated, and there's a certain other ethnic group here to extract. Well, damn, Gettr coming in here with these bagel takes right here, these hot bagel takes. I don't know. I don't even think that's fair. I don't even think it's fair to say, like, oh, the Jews are here to extract wealth. It's like, yeah, bro, just them? Just them? It's just the Jews? Come on, dude. Seriously. I really don't think that's accurate. My Pain Your Gain says social Darwinism will take place when the money runs out. A lot of people like to fantasize about the money running out and everything's going to shit. I'm not even going to say that word. When the blank war happens, I don't see whites winning against every gangster or parasite. Nah, I don't know, dude. I have to say, back when you had like Antifa versus random white bros in the street of Philadelphia, I gotta say there were some definite white pills when it came to the protest, the Black Lives Matter protest. There were some crazy white pills during that. So if you're some fucking faggot leftist white person who lives in the inner cities when the money runs out, yeah, I'd be afraid. But if you live in a suburb like I do, where everyone's armed and like, or if you live in an area basically where if the strangers show up, everyone walks out with like a gun or a fucking, aluminum bat, like, I'm not too worried. So in terms of the blank war, I'm not really too gung-ho on like, the blank war, all this sort of thing. I'm not really that worried about that because during the Black Lives Matter riots, as bad as it was, there were some definite white pill moments. So if things got bad enough, I don't think the minority would win. Let's put it like that. New York Joggers Association says for 557, I'm from Sydney and 3 of my friends won't see me IRL unless they get the vax. Don't do it. New York Joggers Association, don't do it. I haven't. Don't do it. Excuse me, damn. Don't do it. I got everyone pressuring me. I got, friends. I got coworkers. I got my parents. Everyone's telling me to get the vax. I'm not doing it. I don't give a fuck. I'm sitting here with both middle fingers to the whole world. I'm not doing it. Fuck all you. I said last year to my parents, to friends, on stream, I'm not going along with this. I'm not participating. Fuck all of you. And my position has stayed exactly consistent. I will not participate with this. I'm not getting the vaccination because there's no good goddamn reason to get it and you can't explain why. Oh, you're going to die from the Wu flu. Well, I have a 1% chance of that. I'm not fat. I don't have a lung disorder. I'm not going to die from this, most likely. I'm not convinced to get it. You're not trying to convince me. Your explanations make no sense. Fuck off. How about that? Sorry your friends are fucking retarded, dude, but your whole fucking country's retarded, New York Joggers Association. Australia is a fucking prison. It's basically the thing that, Paul Joseph Watson and Alex Jones have been screaming about for years. That's Australia currently. Let's put it like that. You should live in a nation that's not a fucking degenerate, authoritarian shithole. And this is coming from an American. Anyways. Where were we? I tried, one of the problems is I try to talk to my parents about this because my parents are, getting so insistent that I go get vaccinated because, it's affecting your job and I actually might lose my job because of the vaccine. It's not clear yet what's going to happen. But there's a bunch of different agencies that they have a deadline and all this sort of thing. And mine, there's a question as to if there is or isn't a deadline. But it's looking like there's going to be a deadline, but no one's clear what's going to happen. And it's my mother wants me to do it, and she's lying. She's not very manipulative. My mother's a terrible liar. And she's like, I want you to be safe. I don't want you to get sick. And it's like, yeah, you want it because it's going to potentially affect my job, mother. You're a terrible liar. And my father's such a fucking dickhead. He's just like, yeah, you need to do it. You need to stop saying whatever. And he's just a fucking blue-pilled idiot. And I told him to explain to me why I should get it, and he wasn't able to. He contradicted himself. I just threw it right back in his face. I was like, listen, You've contradicted yourself here. The explanations here don't make any sense. There's no reason to get it because the reasons they're giving don't make any sense. The only thing is you have a 1% chance to die if you have a lung disorder and you're 500 fucking pounds and you're 5'4". You know what I mean? It's like all the people who are dying are old or fucking 700 goddamn pounds or have an immune system of like someone who should be in a goddamn bubble. Are there one-off cases of otherwise decent, healthy people dying? Yes, but that is an unbelievable small number of people. And the vaccine hasn't even been shown to actually do shit about that. There's people who are dying with the vaccine. So what the hell is even the point? So there's no explanation of why I should get it other than you need to do it. The government tells you. Joe Biden says go do it. Therefore, it's like fuck all of you. So, yeah. I said it last year, and I've already said it. You know, I said I'm not participating last year, and I'm not changed, and I'm not going to change. You give me a reasonable goddamn explanation, I'll do it. You give me $1 million fucking dollars, I'll go get the vaccination. Give me $1 million, I'll go do it. Give me a fucking reason. But your bullshit explanations or your nonsense attitude or whatever, your bullshit nonsense coming from the media that self-contradicts, you know, fuck off. I don't want to hear it. The guest says the whites don't need to fight a blank war. Just go to the mountains. The non-whites will never step out of the cities. They will. I mean, I disagree with you there, Geth. They did step out. Like, I forget what area it was, but it was, I think, in the Southwest where basically it was whites formed like a line around their suburb to keep the non-whites and the white allies, quote-unquote, Antifa, out of their neighborhood. So I disagree. I disagree that they won't come out of the cities. I disagree. I disagree with you, Geth. Tank says, Victoria, my state, has become an authoritarian shithole. Rubber bullets and all sorts of shit. Stand your ground. Don't let the government coerce you. Otherwise, you'll never be free. Yeah, I agree largely with the thought, Tank. Sorry to hear that you live in fucking, you know, the prison state known as Australia. I certainly don't envy you, but I live in a shithole state with a non-elected governor who runs everything. Like, I have a non-elected dictator that runs my state who's this fucking fail into power woman who has the personality of a fucking brick. I think, was it Australia where there was random truckers or construction workers that were fighting the cops? That was fucking great. The cops are in full retreat. You have all these construction workers fighting the police. That was great, man. That was amazing. I was like, oh my god, this is unbelievable. It's like the construction workers are rolling in. Like, you got the working class pot-belly giga-chads rolling in, ready to beat the fuck out of a bunch of faggy left-wing cops. It's great. You know, I like cops that are basically tough, even though they can be kind of insufferable and cattle at times. But I can't stand the sort of faggy, you know, just graduated college, soft, limp-wristed cops that you see a lot in the UK. Fuck them. If you got some random working class, like Giga Chad, coming out, kicking the shit out of some faggy, like, leftoid cop, good. Good. Because they're not really a cop anyways. They're morality police. They're not really a cop. What burglary are they solving? What cop are they, you know, what criminal are they putting into the dirt? You know what I mean? They don't do shit. They're morality police. Fuck them. They're not real police. That's just a fact. They're morality police. Someone has to remind me where that was, where the construction workers were fighting the cops. That was amazing. It wasn't even that long of a clip, but it was like they just stormed them and started beating them. I'm like, oh my god. They didn't give a fuck. Oh man, that was good to see. I was surprised. I was like, holy shit. I don't know what incited these guys, but goddamn, dude, that's crazy. Rogue Crusader says, if Trump is the Republican nominee I mean, everything right now is pointing in that direction, that Trump is going to be the nominee. Will I support him? It depends. Just generally speaking, yes, but I want to see policy. I want to see policy. Running mate isn't really that important to me. You know, Stick, Sex, and Hammer, we'll talk about that and all that, but I don't really care about running mate. I want to see policy. What are you going to do, Trump? Where's your son-in-law? Donald Trump, I want you to execute your son-in-law on national television. I want you to bring Steve Bannon back, and I want policy. What are you going to fight for, Mr. Trump? That's what I want to see. I'm waiting for it. And I follow him on Gettr, and he's been giving out good statements, saying some stuff, a ton of stuff I agree with. So Trump is Trump. But I want to see some big dick policy from Donald Trump. And if he does it, if he puts a few things forward that are some big dick policies like Dong Zo, I'm going to burn down Silicon Valley, I'm going to straight up take their companies, I'm going to do asset forfeiture on Google and Facebook. Like, I'm just going to take their shit and I'm going to shut them down and I'm going to get rid of the FBI or something. Like, I'm pulling out of fucking, I don't even know, like, fucking, what is it in Europe? That one agency he dislikes. Somebody shouted out in the chat. I can't remember the fucking name of it. Anyways, whatever. The point is that I want to see Donald Trump come back with a vengeance. I want to see him actually come back, and NATO, thank you. I want him to really push further than he did previously, and it can't just be all this limp-wristed rhetoric on fucking immigration. It has to be more than that. All these institutions have declared war on Trump. I want Trump to declare war on these institutions. I want him coming in screaming that he's going to do fucking he's going to expand RICO laws and do asset forfeiture on Google. I want to hear that shit. Like, that's what I want to hear. I want him going hog wild. I want him out there saying that if they don't stop me, I'm burning the Capitol to the ground. Like, that's what I want to hear from Donald Trump. I'm showing up and I'm killing eunuchs and I'm burning this Capitol to the fucking ground. And I'm going to piss on the fucking ashes. That's what I want to hear from Trump. Anyways. Alright, yeah. Do I think that Joe Biden will run against him? I would say that right now my money's on Joe Biden running in 2024. That's where I put my money. I think it was Sticks who said that he's definitely not going to run, or maybe it was Razorfist. I don't remember. But I disagree. I would put the odds that Joe Biden runs in 2024. I don't think I would say the chances are very low they want Kamala Harris running. And so they're going to literally roll like on a dolly. They're going to bring out Joe Biden and just have him go and a microphone, and 81 billion votes are going to show up again, you know. I would say they're going for forfeiture round 2. I would say that's their strategy. Make Stephen Miller the immigration czar. He already was, though. He already was. So Stephen Miller, he was good, but he was not the greatest. Trump won't do it. He's no Bolsonaro. I don't know. He should. Trump should come back and just say, fuck it. I'm 80 years old, and let's say they do kill me. Who gives a shit? I'll go out a martyr. I'm 80 years old. Who fucking gives a shit? Anyways, yeah, fuck, you know, if I was that old and I was like, oh, they're gonna kill you, if they were smart, they would say, oh, we're gonna kill your kids. That's what they do. They threaten to kill his kids. That would be the smart move to make. If they, like, if I was 80 years old and running for president and they're like, we're gonna kill you, sir, if you don't fucking back down, it's like, what do I give a fuck? I'm gonna be dead in like 2 years anyways. Who gives a shit? You kill me 2 years early and I go out a fucking martyr. You know, who gives a shit? 80 years old. Yeah, alright. We'll probably wrap things up here. I'm getting kind of tired. It's been a long day. I've been up since basically like 8 o'clock. Yeah, I can't, dude, if Trump was assassinated and it was, like, super suspect, I couldn't imagine what that would do to this country. I couldn't imagine what would happen in this country if Trump was assassinated under dubious circumstances. I couldn't imagine. Like, that's when you would see, like, legit terror attacks. Like, I think you would see, like, MAGA, not MAGA chuds, but, like, MAGA boomers. Like, MAGA boomers would lose their minds, and they'd, like, freaking fertilizer bomb the CIA building and shit. Like, I think if Trump was assassinated, like, under dubious circumstances, like, that would radicalize, in a very real sense, a bunch of MAGA boomers, and they would go out and commit legit terror attacks. So, yeah, I don't know if they would ever take that risk, because the fallout from that would just be nuts. Yeah, I agree with Leon Sullivan in the chat that says that Timothy McVeigh would look like a clown. Yeah, I do legitimately think there would be fucking legit terror attacks if that happened. Because it would legit radicalize so many fucking people. It would radicalize so, like, millions of fucking people if Trump was assassinated under mysterious circumstances or dubious circumstances. It would radicalize millions. I should ask freaking Carl about that. I should ask Carl. Well, the thing is that I know a lot of MAGA boomers. I know a lot of MAGA boomers, so I know why. That's how I know they would react. But that would be something interesting to ask Carl. Like, what do you think would happen? Like, give me the scenario of what would happen in your mind if Trump was assassinated. I really should. That is an honest-to-God good question that I should ask Carl. I should try to see if we can link up and do a stream together, because that would be an amazing question to pick his brain on. What do you think would happen if, or introduce, like, call in on Lotus Eaters and ask that question, like, introduce that question, have the panel there, talk about that, discuss that topic. What would happen in your mind if Donald Trump was assassinated under dubious circumstances? Because I think that would be fucking crazy. All right, but let's wrap this up, guys. I'm getting kind of tired. So, if you have any more super chats, send them in. If you got any questions you want to ask, let's wrap this shit up. Geth says, what independent conservative oasis would you move to after the Civil War? Probably Florida. It seems like Florida is going more and more red, and a ton of people are moving there that are leaning conservative. Like, I don't think there's a lot of leftists moving to Florida. It seems like there's a lot of right-wingers moving to Florida from blue states. And hopefully we can push out the gibbers in Florida. You know, whoever's moving to Florida, push out the gibbers. Get rid of all kinds of fucking, workers. I mean, limit workers' compensation. Get rid of public housing and all this sort of shit. Like, really start restricting the gibber programs and have all the gibbers live Florida, and it'll become like a hard red state. People talk about Texas and shit. Florida, you could turn into a fucking blood red state if you get rid of the Gettr programs, because you'll have all the parasites that live there leave that state. And let's be clear who that is. It's a lot of Democrats. I don't know. People say, somebody said in the chat that Biden's going to die in office. I don't think so. He's still clinging to life. I disagree. I mean, he might lose his mind by the end, but he's still clinging to life. I don't think he's going to die. I think he's going to be, I think he's going to be there in 2024. Guest says, if we do get a second Trump presidency, there are a lot of things the swamp can do or could do wrong that would set things off. They will need to tread very carefully. I don't know. I think they could be very effective by just doing what they did the first term and just be an obstructionist. I think that's going to be... They're going to follow the same playbook as they did in the first term. They're going to have a bunch of fucking faggot Republicans say to Trump, oh, put this person here, put this person there, and they're just going to obstruct everything. So I think they're just going to... And it was effective. It was very effective during the first term to do that. So I think that's what they're going to do with a second Trump term. They're going to attempt to do the same play. You know, Jared Kushner rolls up again, and Trump's like, okay, Jared, I'll do whatever you want. And then nothing happens. So, yeah. Like I said, Trump isn't... There's things I like about Trump, but I don't think he was a very good president. He just simply wasn't very effective in being the president. He's effective in a cultural sense in shifting things politically, so there's many positive things that one can say about Trump. But in terms of being president, he wasn't very effective. Roe Crusader says, when's the Sargon stream? I gotta set that up. Sargon prefers to do shit on the weekends, and my weekends are usually swamped. I really don't have a lot of time on the weekends anymore. It seems like I'm always busy. I always got work. I always got people asking me to stay over and do shit. You know, I got my parents. You know, I got family shit. So weekends for me have been really busy for like 3 months, like even longer. I should really message him though and try to set that up. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow or later tonight if I remember. But yeah, he came to me and asked for a stream. So that kind of shows me that he wants to. So I should really take advantage of that and be like, oh, yeah, you know, we just set something up. But I just haven't gotten back to him really about that. And I really should. I think I'm on a stream tomorrow. What the fuck is today? Wednesday? I think tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm on a stream. Yeah. I'm going to be on, Scrump stream with some other guy. And I think we're talking about, like, violence in society or something. So I'm going to be doing a stream with Scrump tomorrow on his channel, I believe. I think he said talking about violence in society. So that's what I'll be up to tomorrow. Getz says, how do you do, fellow Republicans? I don't know what the problem is, but the solution is to give more money to corporations. Yeah, that's right. Yep. I mean, give more free labor to corporations, gotta focus on that GDP and all this shit, and yada, 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 you know. The corpo dick suckers that exist in the party. Alright. Anything else we got that we're wondering or worried about before I go? Because I'll probably be done for tonight after this. Yeah, well, I'll see about streaming tomorrow. And by tomorrow, I mean probably later today. because it's now the AM. So later today, I'll think about streaming. And on Thursday, I have a stream that I need to do. So I'll try to set things up with Sargon. We might be able to do like a late stream for him, because the problem is that for the time difference. So like 8 o'clock for me is like whatever fucking midnight or some shit for him. So it's a problem there. Yep, this is the end of the stream. Before you go, guys, hit that motherfucking like button. Hit that motherfucking like button right now. Pound it. Pound that motherfucking like button. That white button. Pound that white button. I'm equating the like button with whites. Pound that fucking like button. And if you have anything else, get it in before we wrap things up here, because I think we're wrapping up. Oh man, pound it like Asian, like pound it like tight Asian pussy. There you go. That is a great thing to say in terms of hitting the like button for the stream. Is pound it like you would a tight Asian pussy. Oh man. All right, I guess we're wrapping up here. We're tying the knot. Or not tying it, we're tying it off. Tying the knot. Alright. If only YouTube had an OK button. That would be great, dude. If YouTube had an OK button, that would be amazing. Oh man, pound it like a jogger pounds an Asian face. Jesus Christ. We got some fucking red pills in the chat over here. Little spicy. Alright. Alright, I guess we'll wrap this up. So I'd just like to thank everyone who donated tonight. We got some big donations tonight. And I'll do a special shout out one last time to Gaius Natius, I think it is, or Nias, or Caesar, or Kaiser, however you would say it. Shout out to that guy for dropping some big bucks, some gibber bucks he's got from being in the service. He's out here giving to the gibbers. Special thanks to him, but also to everyone who donated tonight. Thanks everyone for doing that. At some point, I gotta have to figure out how to do super chats on this shit, where it like pops up in that. At some point, I gotta figure out how to fucking do that, because I don't know how to. I'll have to watch some fucking shitty tutorial on YouTube how to do that for fucking normies that don't use Streamlabs much. So that way people are more, you know, I guess it incentivizes people because it's, hey, look, I just wrote that, and it's popping up on the screen so everyone can see. I really ought to do that, just so you guys get to see your messages displayed on the stream. But yeah, I really should at some point figure that out, because I tried to do it initially and I was like, I don't know how to do this. I just gave up. But thanks for everyone who donated tonight, and thanks for everyone who pounded that motherfucking like button, and who, we got actually a decent sized reception tonight. But yeah, I'll probably be streaming tomorrow. I'll be probably on somebody else's channel on Thursday. I got some videos that I got to edit. I think I got 2 and potentially 1 more I finally got to edit down. And so there should be a decent amount of content coming up. And I'll try to tweet or put it out and gather in Facebook and everywhere else that I can what I'm doing, so that way you see it if you don't see it on YouTube. But I appreciate everyone who stopped by tonight, and I think it was a good stream. Hopefully everyone enjoyed it. And hopefully in the near future we can do some more content and, you know, have some more fun and have a good time and play some stupid cringe games and all that, and hopefully more than just that. Alright, thanks everybody. Have a good night. Have a good morning. and I'll talk to you guys in the near future.